Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, okay. So that's how we're starting this new one, huh? Interesting. Oh man, what a time to be alive. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Onii-chan. I bet those of you who might be new here weren't expecting to see an ugly bastard, huh? That's fine. I'm so happy. I am so happy. I'm the me who I've always supposed to be, right? I've always been the ugly bastard. Just who I am, who you expect me to be, and I'm quite happy with it. Ah, good times, man. Absolutely good times. So, things are changed, a little new. As you can see, I have a cute little VTuber man who I had made. Well, I didn't have made. It was actually surprised by my good friend, Ipopenti, who is my channel artist. She did the art for it and is learning to rig models, and she did this all herself, which that's pretty cool. So, if you're interested, go give her a follow, if you would please. She's in my credits as my channel artist, and she makes a bunch of degenerate content. So be careful for that. If you want to essentially commission her for the funny, haha, not safe for work stuff, she'll do that too. She's an absolute filthy degenerate, and she'll just make what you want. Don't, yeah. Yeah, teehee, 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 right? And Papanti, tell him about that belly button thing you did. Tell him about that time you drew some shit happening to belly buttons with Freyrin. You love that one. You absolutely love that piece, right? What was happening to Freyrin and her belly button? Hmm? Yeah. Oh, this is so good. So, articulation's a little like, it's not super. I think it's because the camera angle I have right now, where my camera is above my monitor, like attached to the top of my monitor right now. Yeah, she's having a good time, Epopenti. That's what it's all about. Having a good time, chained up with things in your belly button, having a good time. Just like me. Oh, man. Have you ever thought that you might be happier if you just let yourself be into weird shit? I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe not. I've thought about it. Like, there's so much weirdo nonsense out there now, right? And there's so many little genres that just show up constantly. Because I think we're getting bored of looting all of the same things, and we're just finding new parts of the human body to try and be attracted to. Maybe I would be happier if I just let myself to be like, okay, yeah, the void that is the belly button is cool. Or the armpit shit. That armpit shit's happening right now is awful. I hate it so much. Epopenti, tell me about how much you love armpit stuff. Even the model is so jank. I'm actually fine. Like, so I think jank is funny. I think jank can work. I think the big thing is there's not too much articulation in like its movement, so I can't really like turn left or right that much. I can a little bit, right? But he's facing down all the time, and I have to look all the way up for him to be more like straight on. But that's actually really good. I think because this was your first attempt, right? I think this is very, very good. You did it all by yourself. I mean, you just watched YouTube videos until you figured it out. I tried doing that, but my ADHD, I don't have ADHD. I have ADD, the way God intended it to be said. None of this modern day, oh, we don't have ADD anymore. It's all ADHD now. Fuck you. I have ADD. All right. We ain't doing this. I took the Ritalin once for the ADD. I know what it's like. Oh, what a good time to be alive. It's been a bit since I've come back to stream. I have been suffering quite a lot. It is so hot. It is so hot in my room. I have my little studio, which is the room with my PC in it and all of my audio engineering equipment, up here in my attic. Which my attic, actually, I need to close something real quick before it breaks OBS. Now that I'm remembering. Yeah, so my attic does not have AC, proper AC, does not have ventilation at all. And often it is 110 to 120 degrees up here during the day. Now, I do have an indoor AC, which is the one you put like, there's a tube that goes to the window. And I have a massive ass fan in here. Those help a little bit to drop it maybe by like 10 degrees. But let's say it's 90 outside, it's going to be 100 in here, no problem. It's always going to be 10 degrees hotter than it is outside. It's already really hot, plus the humidity. So I haven't been streaming a lot because of that. I've also been feeling very sick, so I apologize for my big absence on that. I miss doing reaction content. I do. I have some stuff planned for today. I have a couple videos lined up. Not very long ones, but we'll see how this goes. I owe the people who are subscribed to my VT channel some reaction videos, and I'd like to get these out by Friday. Oh, I see there's a couple of people here today. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. It makes me happy, even if you just lurk. I need to get more reactive stuff for my chats. Like Momo, the person I'm working for, who I'm doing her like audio stuff for now, she has a lot of little bot stuff that just kind of hangs around in chat and you can interact with it and it says cool shit. I would like to get some of that. I'm also working toward affiliate, I guess. And I've hit affiliate twice before on separate accounts. I don't know if I want to do affiliate again. Mostly because I don't like bits. I really don't like the bit system. I think it's cool that people can have something fun they can donate and they can see it interact on stream, and you can have these little moments where it's like, oh, I got something with my bits, or I redeemed something. That's cool and all. They have the fan interactions. But boy, does a large chunk of that go to Twitch, and I don't like that. It's not me being greedy. I just wanted to say, you know, I don't like the people it's going to. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Maybe we will do it. Because I like a lot of fan interaction stuff with my streams. Maple Panty, tell me something motivating, please. Motivate me to begin. Tell me to press the live button so I can go and start reacting to shit. Come on, do it. Do your shit. Evolution! Oh my goodness, it's Evolution Freak. Holy crap. Evolution, I love your head. I don't know if you know this. I appreciate you a lot. I think about you sometimes and I want to DM you because I think you're cool, but I always worry about bothering you because I know you're busy with stuff and I don't want to bother you because you're busy with stuff. Evolution's a good bean. Evolution does a lot of hard work for people and is greatly undervalued as a worker. As a little slave, as a little internet slave. Evolution, I need to crack the whip on you more, get you to do more shit for me. It'd be fun. I also don't have music playing. Awesome. I've just been sitting here speaking to the void without music playing. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at streaming. I can't believe how good at streaming I am. Oh, man, I completely forgot about getting something going on in the background, so I'm not just completely lame and annoying. By the way, can somebody please tell me if my audio sounds okay? Last time I opened OBS, I had to update it in order to use VTube Studio. And OBS, no, actually prior to that, OBS, one day just upon opening it, said, you know what? All the processing you had on your microphone, burn in hell. Absolutely burn in hell. So that got undone, and I had to redo everything. And then I had to update OBS, and then OBS said, no, burn in hell. And I had to redo everything again. And then I opened it again today, and it said, you know what we're going to do? All the processing you had on your microphone, we're just going to make it so all the plugins you had, we're going to go back to 0. So right before I went live, I went through every single plugin and redid everything again, but not exactly the same as it was before. Now I'm going a more minimal route. So I'm not going to have that nice kind of saturated tone to my voice anymore. It's more of my like post-production sound. But that's fine, so long as this bullshit works, because fuck, man. Every time I interact with OBS in some way, it makes me want to die. Like every single time. Get some music going. Ah, isn't that nice? Speaking of music, one of the first videos I'm going to react to today is a music video. I've never reacted to a music video before, and it's been a good bit since I've actually done music stuff, and I've been getting back into it. I've forgotten a lot of the terminology that goes along with it, but I'm hoping I can provide some insight when it comes to the engineering side or production side of things. That's a good bit of things that I do remember. Oh man. What a day. Absolutely what a day. Why is it so hot? Hold on, I'm gonna take a drink and you're gonna hear it, okay? You're gonna hear what it's like for an ugly bastard to take a sip on stream. Oh, thank God. I haven't had to yap for this long in a while. I'm a horrible hikikomori loser man, so I'm by myself all the time. So the only time I'm speaking to people is when I'm in voice call with my friends, and I only hang out with them for a couple hours of the night. So throughout the day, I'm pretty silent because I'm just watching. No, fuck you. You call me a yapper. I'll fucking ruin you. Destroy you. Anyways. So I'm gonna get on with the first one. I'm actually really excited. Let's see if this works. Look at Panko, look at her little head. Oh, Panko, you make me so happy. My Kami Oshi. Panko, you sweetest of beans. I want you to acknowledge me IRL now that I'm a VTuber. I'm not the tier of VTuber that you are, but I'm getting closer. Fighting God is not enough. I need to touch grass. I got that backwards, but I think that actually works too. So, I'm really excited to try this. I'm hoping my model isn't too big on screen. I know a lot of people have their models be like, take up like half the freaking screen sometimes. And nobody seems to complain with them. Hold on. I also have a bad cough, so if I have to pause and stop for a second to cough, I do apologize for that. Ugly bastard sip. Okay. So, first video for today. This is Boom by Evil. For those who don't know, Neurosama. To my knowledge, this is an original song, their first original song, entirely by them. And I've not listened to it yet. The only bits of this song I've actually listened to was just like the first 10 seconds maybe that I used to try and set the volume for my stream. So if you don't know, I go through and I try and set the volume for stream to make sure everything is nice and even with each other. So I don't have to fiddle with it while watching it live, and it's nice for you guys in the VODs. I'm really excited. I want to get into this. I am listening with my headphones, which are my Beyerdynamic DT770s. I'm not used to using these headphones anymore, but I'm hoping that them being studio headphones will help me have a better insight compared to my normal ones. So if I make some kind of statement that isn't necessarily correct, that's because I'm used to listening on my studio monitors, which are way more correct and have a way better sound field. But I'm excited. Let's see what little Neuro has to do. Oh, she's genting. She's genting. I like the set so far. She's so fucking cute. Look at her. She's been told before. No one does it like her. Automated war. I'm the newest king of its tragedy. So far from I'm gonna put I put subtitles on for you guys. Okay. Right away, I can hear the mix pretty well done. I don't know what it's like to mix AI vocals in music yet, because I would assume a lot of them come pretty pre-processed. I don't know if you can get them a bit more raw and human sounding, but so far it's sitting really well in the mix. See the consequences. It was your decision. Submit to me, my mission. Praise me. Take you. The vibrato on her voice is really good too. You got what you wanted. Okay. Wow. So it's like we've come so long with AI voices. Holy shit. That's awesome. right away, the guitars are very fizzly. I don't know if that's purposeful in how they're supposed to sound, but I think you have a lot of issue with a lot of modern metal guitars, very specifically like the gented ones, that he'll have the like the at the beginning like dun 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 sound. There is a good, I would say often like maybe 8K and above going on right now that I can hear in the headphones at least. I have a lot of sizzle to them. I can't really tell a lot of what I would call like IR guitars anymore versus like real ones because some of them are super close now, especially like the neural DSP stuff. I would assume like a lot of people who would make music like this aren't really doing stuff in studios anymore, especially if you're not necessarily like a big name studio. If you're just some guy that they found maybe on Twitter or something like that, they're probably going to have a lot of rigs that are more digital based. But so far, the mix is fine. Whoever did the kick and stuff like that, they fitting really well. I lyrically also, this is wonderful. The backings are good too. So I'm wondering it too, because like I'm not hearing. God, that's so good. She little flips you off. How much of her vocal is done in post-production? Because it's very clean sounding. Obviously not there. There's some bit going on there. There's parts of it where she's projecting more, but it's remaining very consistent with itself. Right there, it's very clean sounding. There's a little. I'm gonna watch this again to analyze the lyrics as well. I like the electronic change as well. We go from something with thumping guitars to like these weird little synth sounds in the background. More sound design post-production. Her vocals have a massive soundstage as well. That was wonderful. Holy shit. All right. So the production of that is very, very good. The kick and a lot of the drum kit itself was actually mixed very, very well. Her vocals sit super well in the mix as well, especially with those drums. I want to know, is there credits for like who helped produce this? Like who helped do the mix? Music, vocals, lyrics. Mixer Johnny R. I'm gonna have to look them up later. They did a fantastic job. I don't know how much of her vocals comes like pre-done when it comes to producing an AI like vocal like that. Because I've played around a lot with AI voices just to see what they're like, and many of them come already pretty compressed. They're not super dynamic. And Neuro's voice is usually when you have voices that are that high on the spectrum, because hers is pretty high, they're a little more dynamic. They're not usually as consistent, and listening to her speak in her videos, she's got some kind of good level going on with her. I don't know if there's any more processing that the turtle is putting on for her at all. But yeah, production wise, that's really good. The guitars to me are a bit too fizzly and a bit too thin, but that also might just be my headphones. I would have a little more thump kind of going on in the what do I call it, the palm muting range, like a little thicker, especially if we're going for that. Then it's not all the way down in gent. It's pretty lower tuned, but it's not like we're not doing like low E like Duran Gray or some shit. I also need to go through and listen to these lyrics again because I want to hear this again. This like Hold on. Let's just do it again. I'm just going to listen to it again. Look at her little head. I love her. Evil's so cute.
She's been told before, no one does it like her. Automated war, I'm the newest king of your tragedy. See the consequences, it was your decision. Submit to me, my mission prayer.
Reminds you of Guitar Hero.
Take you.
I don't know if this is supposed to be based on a lot of like Neuro's little personality, but some of those things like seems like shit she would actually just say. Cause like Neuro is, cause like Evil Neuro has a lot of moments where she's just like, no, I'm right, fuck you, fuck off. There's that one clip where I think she's talking about ad block. And she's like, just talking about, you guys need to not have ad block. I need to support your creators, and I will come to your house and I will like, what is it? I'll find your IP address. She calls normal like Good Neuro up, and after she doesn't get the answer she wants, she boots her from call. I think a lot of these lyrics are a big like, I'm your king, I'm above you, or whatever. I'm the one in charge. Or those are very, very Evil Neuro. That's so good. Perfect. She's got the attitude to her too. Exactly what I'd want. I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying the song too. But yeah, she's doing the thing where like, I'm above you. Like, she's so in character for it. You said I'm crazy, here's insane is such a good line. Holy shit. Her little model is so cute. She's doing a very classic like MMD little dance on stage. It's sweet. It's great. She's in your face like she's supposed to be. Beautiful. Her little vocals are absolutely beautiful here. You said I'm crazy here is insane is so good. Holy shit. Yeah, this all just feels like shit she would actually just say. I feel like where normal Neuro is just like she's kind of unhinged, Evil Neuro is always supposed to be like the I'm pushing it a step further. She doesn't always feel like that because normal Neuro is fucking insane sometimes. Well, Evil Neuro is just like, I'm gonna say a slur, but you won't let me. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. That's a fantastic music video. The song itself was really good. I like the composition of it. Her little vocals are also really good. I don't know too much about like the goings on behind Neurosama stuff, like what's going on with her tech and how her vocals actually work, but they're really well done. The mix of this is also, again, I've said before, is pretty well done. I'm not crazy about the guitars sounding a little too fizzly and thin, but the rest of it's fine. Wow. Absolutely wow. That's fantastic. I love Neuro. I love her little head. I don't get enough chances to actually catch her streams as much. I am one of those like people who has to catch a lot of streamers via their clips and whatnot, but good job. Wow, it's kind of scary where we're coming to now with music. So hold on, let me see the credits in like music stream. The vocals were by Neuro, lyrics and Neuro. Okay, so she did play some part in putting that together lyrical wise. It does feel like a lot of stuff she would just say. If we're coming now to where we can have AI give that much of a performance, I'm a little worried about where music's going in general. I know Neuro and what they're doing, like Vital, what they're doing with her is they're trying to be quote unquote ethical about stuff and how Neuro is trained and how she's used. But there are people bigger than her when it comes to money and power. And this sort of thing we're already seeing pop up everywhere where there's so much generative AI garbage flung all over the place, especially like on Spotify. There's so much AI garbage on Spotify right now when it comes to music. It's only going to get better, unfortunately. And we're at a point where since AI can only learn off of what exists already, we're going to have more and more repetitive crap come out than we already do. Because some of those genres are like, wow, you just made the same song again, huh? Looking at you, country music. Where every country song is just the same song, where it's a weird pop song now with just more acoustic twang to it. It's. I think where it's like, obviously here, there's. I don't know who this is. I apologize. I actually don't know who this is. So if I'm assuming this is a human being here. I think like this is one of those things to where AI can work so well alongside humanity, and we can bring out the best in one another, especially when it comes to being creatives. Instead of letting it completely like replace the artist, we use it like the artist's hand to help create something more efficient and faster and cheaper than it would be just like, oh no, you're replaced. It's doing it for you. It's going to make slop and bring out slop. I think Neuro also herself does a really good job of displaying that in a way where a corpo AI fails, right? Corpo AI is garbage. Obviously, they're powerful. They have the money to make them powerful. They have the money to like use massive like LLM models that search anything you could ever want, but they're soulless, where Neuro doesn't feel soulless. And a lot of that is she still has human elements surrounding her, even though she herself isn't real. There are things that we can attach ourselves to, the little family she has going on with Vital and all the rest of the gang, and the people she can interact with. It's a good example of how we could aid one another instead of just saying like, fuck off. Uh, oh man. All right. Yeah, my stream just decided to die for a sec. I'm looking over at it. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. And I'm looking at to see where this is at. That was not my fault. Apparently, that was on Twitch's end. So thank you, Twitch. Thank you for that. That's cool. All right, that was fantastic. Thank you, Neuro. Thank you to everybody who was a part of that. I really need to look up the mixer and see what he's got going on. Oh. All right, that was fun. I have some other stuff lined up for today for my little react videos. If you could give me one sec, please. I need to use the restroom, but I will be right back. Incredible. Incredible. I am so good at living. I am so good at living. Oh, man. Holy shit. So, I went to use the restroom, and those of you who don't know, when I go to use the restroom, I also actually let me go to my just check. Oh, wrong. God damn it! I need to name these better. Oh, I have this biotine that I keep next to me at all times. I have bad mouth clickies, and I don't want people to hear my bad mouth clickies, right? So I will go and wash my mouth out every single time I get up to go use the restroom because I have to pee all the time because I'm old, right? I went to do that, and when I went to go spit out the mouthwash, my mouth just said, "You know what we're gonna do? For some reason, I'm gonna open too early than your brain wanted and spill mouthwash all over your shirt." So now I have a big ass stain, like I'm a child, of this mouthwash all over my shirt. So that's cool. That's great. Hold on, give me a sec to clean me up as if I'm some invalid. Also, Evolution, you like my little B-Rig back screen? It's very cute, right? I got the little tree lines going, or the whatever it is, I don't remember. It's a song I made myself as well. Very happy with it. Also, there's a massive delay on screen for me, like for stream. Usually I don't get a delay like this for you guys. Usually it's maybe a few seconds at most. Okay. All right. All right. Hello. I am Onii-chan, your host. You're all my emotos, whether you like it or not. Yeah, it's very cute, huh, Evil? So, I have another video lined up. We did one video by this person already, and I really, really enjoyed their work. This was recommended in my little thing of this disturbing Korean horror game is based on a true story, which, because of course it is, right? I don't know how to pronounce the name. I am so sorry. It's Redo Liche, I think. I apologize. Yeah, they make good stuff. Please go give them a follow if you would, if you enjoy this video that we're about to watch. I love me some spoopy games, especially Asian spoopy games, because they're so weird and specific to all the shit they have going on there. Asian horror does not span that far out of like specific genres. It's always predator stuff or suicide. It feels like there's a lot of predator stuff or suicide when it comes to Asian horror, and it like some kind of allegory for it. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm assuming it's gonna be one of those two things, or maybe both. All right, let's get on with it. I'm actually really excited to try this. 3, 2, 1, wham!
Imagine reliving your trauma over and over again.
Me walking to the bathroom.
The scenery becomes more and more.
Oh, that's metal as fuck.
Disturbing. That's what happened in Parasite Flower. Developed and published by Cat Owo, Parasite Flower is a side-scrolling, psychological, narrative-driven horror game.
I like those words put together.
As she relives the same day over and over again. With each loop, the world around her grows darker and more dangerous.
That sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to check this out. That sounds really cool. What?
The game begins with a date. December
04.
2004. At first glance, it seemed randomly presented to the player, but this will become important later.
If it's based on something real, it might be a real date for some traumatic event.
Dark room. There's no light, and the only lamp she had is already broken. The window is her only source of light, giving the room a dim glow that gives off a very depressing vibe.
Just like my studio.
Reflection in the mirror, her face appears lifeless. Below her eyes, we can see faint eye bags. Though they're not very noticeable, they hint at how tired she is. Keep this mirror in mind.
Bruh.
We'll come back to it later.
Just like me, for real.
Ari exits her room. Outside her room, we see a man sitting on a couch.
That's so cool. What the fuck?
This is Ari's father. Nothing seemed unusual except for an
Does he have a plant growing out of him?
hanging above his head.
Yeah.
Its root appear to extend and connect to the back of his head. This flower appears repeatedly throughout the game, and it serves as a metaphor for something. We'll get to that later as well. In the next room, we see her mother. When Ari
Is the volume okay, by the way?
The only thing she says is, "Go to school, Ari." The way she delivered that line makes her sound tired and emotionally drained. Stepping
Okay.
outside the house, we're shown
maybe
a
some bad home
beautiful yet
situation.
hauntingly mesmerizing view of the forest. Despite its eerie nature, there's
I love this
something
art. Holy
oddly
crap.
calming about it. At the end of the forest, it opens up to a train station with a signpost that read, "The train is coming soon." When Ari boards the train, there are several strange-looking passengers. As she walks past them, she can hear snippets of their conversation. Some are complaining, others are simply trying to have fun. Ari pays them no mind and takes a seat. As the train heads to
I could never ride a train. I've never been on a train in my life, and I have no plans to ever get on a train. Like, not like a classic train with like the seats and whatnot. I'm talking about like the Japanese, Asian, whatever style metro stuff. Like also like the New York and style stuff as well. Just being that closed in and that like tight proximity to people freaks me out. I already don't like being around people as it is. I mean, like, yeah, I can, obviously, because I've had to work in my life. But just thinking of, okay, I'm in a box with no escape with these fucking awful human beings around me. I want no part of that. Imagine the smell. Mm. But no, yeah, like, I don't know how people do this every single day. Obviously, it's different for depending on where you're at. Anyone wants to say that you did? How was it, Evo? Was it good? Did you like the smell? Did you give a good sniff? In America, I feel like getting on a train like this is just a way to get shanked and robbed. In Italy as well, right? Has anyone seen that video of like some guy going around Italy of like, yeah, here's all the ways you're gonna get stolen from today, and he has like his wallet slightly hanging out of his back pocket to see if he can bait anyone into taking it. Of course it happens. It's just like an entire like 10-minute video of, yeah, this is how people steal from you. I would assume like Japan or Korea, who have their shit together a bit more, maybe have a better metro system when it comes to how people interact with it. It smells awful. Can you describe the stench to me? Describe it in foot odor power. Don't do that. Foot odor is disgusting and it makes me very sick. Don't do that, please.
towards its destination, the passengers gradually disappear one by one until Ari is the only one left. She gets off the train and
Wait,
walks towards
did it
the
say how
school,
old she's supposed to
passing
be?
a karaoke bar along the way. Eventually, she reaches school.
Oh,
and
she's
the
a
day abruptly
school
ends.
age, right?
We then assume the next day has started, but when we look at the date, we realize it hasn't. It's the same date as before, December 7th, 2004. It seems Ari is reliving the same day again. Now you'd expect things to be
Okay.
similar, but when Ari...
So we're in some kind of trauma loop then, right? I'm going to assume she goes to school and something bad happens while she's at school, and she's reliving this trauma again and again. I'm assuming this is going to be a Predator story. It has all the elements for it. Also, in Finland, Metro feels sus, and my least favorite way to travel in Helsinki, but taking a train like that in Japan was fine. Yeah, like I've seen like videos and stuff of Japanese metros. Other than getting like the threat of maybe getting molested by some asshole if you're a woman, it's probably better, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna assume she's reliving the same trauma again and again with this.
We notice a subtle change in her face.
Oh,
She
she's
looks
more
much
fucked look.
tired than before. Her eye bags are more prominent and her eye seems even more lifeless.
Being more worn
When
down
she
then.
leaves her room, things appear the same except the numbers of flowers on her father's head. It has doubled. This time, she can interact with her father, but when she calls his name, we hear a
Okasan?
slithering wet sound, like something alive wriggling through flesh. After this, everything
That's
is similar
awesome.
to the previous loop.
I was hoping he'd show the sound.
Karaoke bar. As she moved past it, she suddenly received a strange vision, a vision of blood on the floor. She tries to ignore it, but just as she...
Hold on, let me go back. These are everywhere in horror games. Can I go one frame at a time? Yeah. Those eyes right there. Is that some kind of stock effect you can just get? Because I've seen a couple indie games now on itch.io that all have that eye look to it. Is that something I can just download? Because that's really cool. Also, a lot of Asian games have this thing to it too, where that's the the eyes in the abyss thing, like the people staring at you or thinking people are looking at you thing. I never see this in Western games. Maybe there's a couple that have it, but in ones that are obviously either made by weebs or like actual like come from Japan or Korea or whatever, will have this element a lot.
On the floor. She tries to ignore it, but just as she passed by, a pair of eyes briefly appear from within the empty karaoke bar. And just like in the previous loop, the day ends once she arrives at school. The third loop begins, and at first, it seems like things will play out the same in the previous loop. When we look at the mirror, we see a horrifying change in...
That's so fucking awesome. That's some cool imagery. Holy shit, that's so cool. What? There's just something about like sealed, tied lips things that are so cool to me. It's such a cool horror aesthetic. I'm not big into body horror myself. I think it's kind of gross, and body horror can feel very cheap at times when it comes to wanting to get a rise out of somebody, especially in like horror games. But I also think like this, it can be used as a metaphor or some kind of vehicle to maybe tell the character's story. I think this is a good use of it. Obviously, like, she's more worn out and tired looking, and I'm assuming the sealed lips means she can't say something or something is going on and she's being silenced. That's, at least in my head, that's what I'm interpreting from this, but that's really cool imagery. Holy shit.
Ari's appearance. Her eyes are lifeless, hollow, and empty. Their
Niji Sanji fans.
color makes them even more terrifying, as if you're staring into a void. Her mouth is sewn shut, making her appearance even more disturbing.
It's so cool looking.
Is where things truly
it's so cool.
For starters, we finally discover the source of the noise Ari heard when interacting with her father.
What is it?
It turns out that slithering wet sound was coming from her father. In the kitchen, her mother is doing
wait. Go back. No, go back. I want to look at that. What?
Slithering wet sound was
Is that a... Is that like intestinal stuff, or is that the flowers? Is that the flowers going through his body, like the vines? That's also really cool imagery as well. Yeah, I can't quite tell what that is, but that's fucking awesome.
Coming from her father. In the kitchen, her mother is doing something. For now, Ari continues on her way to school.
Oh my god. What is... Oh my god, I can't remember the name of it. It's like this Sadako, the Grudge, no, it's like the Grudge shit, but it's the old manga book, whatever. What is that called? What is that called? Help me. Apple Penti, look up that word for me, please. I'm trying to remember a thing. Just Jin something, right? Because it's reminding me of a thing. Juon. It's called Juon. I fucked myself up as a child when we had this manga shop I would visit. Like I still lived in the middle of nowhere, right? I still had to drive like 2 hours to get to a city of some sort, and there was a manga shop there I would visit frequently when I had the chance, right? I would have my mom take me, and because my mom is my mom, she doesn't know what manga is or anime. She would just buy it because she knew I liked it, and I was a teenager when I got this. And I got the manga of Juon, which I believe is The Grudge, correct? I believe that's what The Grudge is based off of. And that has a bunch of fucked body horror in it. If anybody has read that, please let me know. I've not read a single other person that's read that. There's a bunch of really, like, I couldn't appreciate it when I was younger, but now, like, I can a bit as, like, okay, this is some spoopy cool shit. But that scene where the mom
is doing something
right here, I don't know why. There's a scene in the Juon manga where a woman is cooking herself. If anybody's seen that, where she's literally chopping her like hand and arm up and throwing in a pot with like somebody's like half severed head. It's what reminds me of that.
For now, Ari continues on her way to school. Arriving at the school, things grow even more disturbing and creepy. We now get a closer look at the classroom.
Is there a man
the teacher
standing over there?
Busy writing something on the chalkboard. When Ari approached him, he turns and gave her a smile. A predatory smile. Ari, my favorite student, I've been waiting.
Okay. Predatory smile. That just looks like a normal smile to me, at least what the imagery is providing. Oh my god. All right. So my school, when I was growing up, we might have had some teachers, including the principal, who I would not trust around young women. So I know exactly what smile he's giving off. I've seen it firsthand, especially like in my high school years. The principal of our high school is the kind of person who would make excuses as to why he should be allowed into the girls' locker room whenever he wanted. So yeah, I know exactly what he's referring to with this. So hell yeah, good. At least this doesn't change in any culture.
For you. We have a little time before class starts. Why don't you stay here? I have something special I want to share with you.
Oh
Don't be
no.
afraid now. I know it will make you happy too. Come, little one. After saying those disgusting things, the day ends and the next loop starts. The fourth and final loop is where things become even more disturbing and horrifying.
That's all.
Outside the room, we
No, go back. That's awesome as fuck. What? Go back.
things become even more disturbing and horrifying.
That's so cool. Holy shit, that's such a cool image. Implementi, listen, I realized after I said it that that was something that could have been taken out of context, okay? This is why I scrambled to try and fill in the context or something after it, okay? I understand. I absolutely understand the implications of an ugly bastard VTuber man with his little panko body pillow, all right? You don't have to tell me. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But this imagery, really cool. Absolutely really cool. I love this. This is a really good like interpretation of somebody just kind of degrading. I'm going to assume this is like somebody being pushed to a breaking point. Obviously we're gone past like maybe the silenced or being silenced thing, or you can't speak about what's going on. Because there's a lot of people who do go through traumas or who are facing like this kind of predatory nature and they just can't speak about it out of shame or fear or repercussions that the person might hurt them. And so, because yeah, there's a lot of people who suffered in absolute silence, and it's disgusting. You know, Wood Chipper Chan is right there. Just saying, Wood Chipper Chan is always hungry. Hmm. Yeah, this is a really, really neat interpretation. Hopefully, I'm interpreting this correctly. He's probably gonna say it at some point, but just the imagery itself is really cool.
Stepping outside her room, we finally see the full appearance of Ari's parents. But the worst is yet to come. After that
Awesome.
terrifying encounter, Ari makes her way to school, only to face another monster in disguise. This time, there's no escape.
Fuck was that? Go back. Go back. I want to see what that was. He's a monster man.
To school,
Hold on.
only to face another monster in disguise.
He's a bunny. Wait. He's a. Oh my god. The Jake Gyllenhaal movie. What's it called? Implementi, what's that Jake Gyllenhaal movie called? With Frank the Rabbit. The one I was obsessed with as a teenager. What the fuck was that called? Implementi, help me. Donnie Darko. Okay, yeah, Donnie Darko. I apologize. I have to keep doing that, everybody. I have, since I like got COVID a couple years ago, I've had really odd memory problems where I just forget a lot of what things are called and names. I don't remember names very well either anymore. Yeah. Oh my god, I fucking loved Donnie Darko. Who didn't like Donnie Darko as a teen? It had the weird, confusing nonsense angst that you would like to brag about to your normie friends. I don't know. It's a Korean game, correct? I think, yeah. I know a lot of like the little animals and symbolisms and whatnot in Japanese lore. I hate to say I am very ignorant when it comes to Korea and how they interpret animals or how they interpret certain things like flowers and whatnot. So if the rabbit means something here that's like has some kind of like negative backing to it, I'd be interested in somebody telling me because I might actually look that up later.
This time, there's no escape. The man locks the door behind her. He then shows her something, telling her not to worry because this
Locks
will
door.
help her with school and her parents approved it. He then sweet talk her, telling her that she'll like it. The game ends with Ari lying on the floor with the parasite flower blooming through one of her eye.
Cool.
Parasite Flower is not your typical horror game. There are no flashy jump scare, no monster chasing you.
It's about grooming, right?
Instead, it's a game designed to portray the trauma experienced by victim. In this game, we see Ari relive her trauma every single day. With each loop, her appearance changes, becoming increasingly horrifying and grotesque. But we only see these changes when we interact with the mirror. If we're not looking, Ari appears perfectly normal.
Oh,
this is where
I didn't even really... No.
Everything in this game is symbolic, layered with metaphor and deeper meaning. Let's start with the title. When I first played this game, the title Parasite Flower didn't seem to match the narrative. But after finishing it, I realized the title makes perfect sense. A parasite is an organism that feeds off a host, often harming it. In this game, it represents Ari's trauma, something that clings to her, draining her from the inside and affecting her mental and emotional state.
I can see how the connection.
A flower, on the other hand, is typically a symbol of beauty. It can also represent a person. In this case, Ari herself. Put them together and you get the central metaphor of this game, a beautiful person slowly being consumed by the parasitic weight of their trauma. Parasite Flower tells the story of Ari trying to cope with her trauma, which latch onto her like a parasite. Another interesting bit which contribute to Ari's trauma is her parents. You can see the parasite flowers appearing on both of them. The father losing his lower half can be interpreted as a metaphor for something missing, such as his morality. As for the mother, it's possible that she went through the same kind of trauma that Ari is experiencing. Her hand represents the pain of trauma she endured. Her mouth wide open symbolizes
Sorry, I'm not speaking. This is just interesting.
This interpretation is supported by the fact that we get a game over when we ask her, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, there's a lot of like generational trauma with people because unfortunately, when it comes to the horrible things people will do, and especially to children, it doesn't end. There's always going to be some kind of force of evil out there ready to prey on somebody. And, you know, having kids and whatnot now, you're all susceptible to having that happen. And maybe just because it happened to you at some point, you either don't see it or you were taught to hide it. You're not able to express it in any way. And even if you'd want to speak up, maybe you're too damaged to do so. I've known people in my life that are, I would call them survivors. And obviously of, you know what, instances. And they are permanently affected by it mentally. They are not, I don't want to say they're not normal because I feel like that's an insulting way to put it, but there are things about them now that they have this weird skewed like reality to them, and it goes with them forever because it's like when you have those kind of crimes happen, it's not just the moment that it happens that you're taking away the power of somebody or harming them. It also comes at like the rest of their life and the trauma that comes along with it. And it's like you can damage somebody's soul and their spirit and their brain, right? And a lot of these kind of things, especially maybe when you're a child, are way more like damaging because they follow you the rest of your life during your formative years when they are being like applied to you. It's interesting that the game ends when you ask, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm wondering if like maybe that's you ask somebody else if they're okay because you see they're kind of fucked up too, and that's just the end of the conversation. There's nothing else to it. Huh. Let me watch more of what he has to say with this because I'm actually interested to see what his interpretation is.
In some families, asking about trauma when they're not ready to answer it often led to backlash or emotional harm.
Yeah.
Game Over mirrors this. Ari breaking her silence, asking her mother if she's okay can be seen as that. One of the most interesting interactive element in the game is the mirror. The mirror shows Ari's true self. It reflects the idea that people only see what's on the outside, but not what's happening on the inside. While she appears normal externally, inside she is tired and afraid. However, it gets worse and the mirror shows us that. In the first and second loops, we're shown how tired Ari looks. She has visible eye bags which become more obvious in the second loop. She is exhausted emotionally and physically by the neglect she experienced at home. In the third loop, Ari is shown with her mouth stitched shut. This symbolized her inability to speak out, whether from fear, shame, or guilt.
So I figured that
in the
much.
fourth loop, Ari decided that enough is enough. But all that bravery came crashing down because in the end, no matter how hard she tried to speak up, she still can't escape what's happening to her. And finally, there's the teacher. This doesn't need any explanation given how obvious he portrays himself.
That's very
He's a
straightforward with what he's doing.
predator. We see him take the form of a white rabbit. In classic literature, especially in Alice in Wonderland, white rabbit represents curiosity and guidance. They're typically innocent and harmless, which is why the teacher took on this form. He wants to appear trustworthy. In the third loop, we see him trying to be nice to her, saying all these pretty things to her, trying to lower her guard. But once he finally gets what he wanted, the mask comes off and he betrays her. This final betrayal breaks Ari completely, leading her to succumb to her.
I need to go back at some point and maybe like just look at what the teacher was saying again. So, because what I'm about to say now might be ignorant if I don't remember correctly. But I do feel it's one of those things to where it's like grooming can be like a weird, slow process where it's like, oh, obviously the person portraying it doesn't want to be, or perpetrating it doesn't want to get in trouble. And it's going to be a slow burn. And I don't know, obviously I can't speak for everybody on this thing, right? I'm just kind of giving my own interpretation on it. Just gaining your trust over time and making it so you feel like either it's your fault or you're involved or it's like just this is your reality now, and getting close to you. Like if we've all seen this stuff like growing up, right? The shit on television, or the way hopefully you guys have had like classes growing up or lessons of how to maybe spot this sort of behavior. Because when I was in school, obviously fucking a million years ago, we had tons of classes and lessons and people come in to try and tell us, like, this is this kind of behavior you need to watch out for. People you don't know or people who are strangers are going to try and be nice to you and offer you stuff. It's like, even going back to like the offering you candy to get in their van. It's a way of building trust in you to get like you to do what they want, right? And then, of course, the person obviously ends up hurting them. It is interesting to hear him say, like, oh, yeah, your parents are already, like, okay with this. Meaning, like, oh, okay, you might just have parents that just don't give a shit about you, because unfortunately there are people out there that do have that.
Parasite flower. Thank you guys so much for watching. This video touched a lot of sensitive topics, so let me leave you with a positive message. Whatever it is that you're going through, you're going to make it. You're going to heal. You're going to have a better day. I hope anyone that struggles will find the happiness they deserve. If you enjoy my stuff, don't forget to subscribe so you get to see more content like this.
Yeah, please go subscribe to them.
Video. If you enjoyed it, check out my previous video if you haven't yet, and become a member to support the channel and get early access and more interesting stuff on the channel. That's all. See you.
Another wonderful video by them. They do a really good job presenting what they want to say. I think they're pretty smart in how they like interpret games, what the messages are trying to say to them. So yeah, please, if you would, go give them a follow. That's very interesting. They obviously put a lot of work into the games, and obviously not everyone is ready or willing to play games like this. So just having some kind of quick breakdown is a neat way to experience the game, especially if you want to see it, but don't go through the kind of fucked up stuff yourself. But yeah, that was really good. Good on them for making that. I really enjoyed that. Again, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I am so sorry. It's Redolice. Maybe that's something I'm just too stupid to read right now. But yeah, that's so good. Oh man, my recommendeds are gonna be super fucked up after this. What is this? Oh yeah, my recommendeds aren't gonna be great. Oh man. Hopefully we're all still doing well right now. I'm actually having a really good time. It's really nice to be back. It's nice to just talk to everybody. Some music going real quick. Oh, let me have a moment to just calm down. That's a lot of talking for me that I'm used to in a while. So I just need a moment to just kind of gather my thoughts and whatnot again, get some water to drink. I do have to use the restroom again, but I will do that in a minute here. I'm old, okay? I can't hold my watos like everybody else can. Once again, I would like to give a shout out to my channel artist, Impopenti. She is the one who drew this for me, made the model, and also rigged it. And it was for my birthday that happened back in May. I'm really happy with it. You say it's a little jank. There's some things about it, but I think that's more the program and how I have it set up than the actual model itself. I'm having a really nice time. I hope that everybody's also having a good time. It makes me happy to have a chat here. This is one of the biggest things I actually struggle with, is not having a lot of people around to just like converse with. I see the power that it is having an active chat when it comes to VTubers and streamers, and the difference is huge. I'm a little lonely hikikomori weeb man, right? And I'm not used to yapping. I'm not used to trying getting my thoughts out there constantly. But there are so many people. No, fuck you, Minty. I don't even know what you said. I just saw your name and I said fuck you instinctively. I'm sorry. Couldn't make the movements very wide, huh? You want to talk about a wide movement in Popenti? What was I saying? Yeah. Also, for those who don't know, I may every now and then DM Popenti disgusting shit that I do throughout the day. And I won't... What do you mean you show me a wide movement? Sometimes in Popenti will get what I call the stretch factor. And I'm not going to elaborate as to what that is. You can just imagine. But every now and then she'll get the stretch factor. Speaking of wide. But no. The difference in having a present audience that converses with you and speaks and is very active versus one where you're reliant on yourself just to speak is huge. I get to see Momo, the person I'm working for right now. Just how she is able to conduct herself because she has a very dedicated chat and audience, and she has a lot to go off of with what people do. It's interesting. I'm still trying to build that. I would love to build an audience that's more here and more present. I want things more for you guys in chat to be able to do together that maybe encourages you to speak or do stuff. And so I have little peoples to talk to. There's a lot that I see going on like VTubers when it comes to this stuff. So obviously those of us who are trying to make it from the bottom by ourselves, no backing, no real funding, no corpos to go behind. We're starting from zero, right? And it's difficult. Obviously also, not only am I a male quote-unquote VTuber, I am an ugly bastard VTuber. And Popenti, I never said that. Not once in my life have I ever said that to you. Actually, that's not true. I also didn't tell you the exact color. I would say it like some weird cryptic way. Yeah, you see so many people on Twitter have this this massive starting because they do these big debut things. They'll have cute avatars and things they can go off of that are really nice. But they start with like 100 subscribers or even 1,000. Like the girls from Raelium, which also, by the way, they're wonderful. If you've not subscribed to Raelium, go do that, please. They have some dedicated people and they're making content now, like with their streamers. And one of them just took the step today, or yesterday? Today. They stepped away from their job, their full-time job, to start doing VTuber content creation stuff full-time. And that's huge. That's a massive step, and that's scary because it's so uncertain in where you're gonna go in life. Sorry. I remember when I did that, where I was working at my job at the factory, and I got to a place with my audio editing that I was able to step away from the factory, and I was actually making about as much from just audio editing for content creation that I was at the factory. So I wasn't doing a massive change up when I came to like how much I was earning, but just being able to get out of that environment was huge. It's also scary because like corporations are ready to fuck us over at any moment, like just at their choosing, right? We do one little thing wrong on Twitch or YouTube or something that the corporate overlords don't like, and everything we love is gone. Or maybe somebody doesn't like us and we get mass reported or something. Who knows, right? But yeah, good on her for trying something new or trying to better herself or push herself further. I'm hoping to do that too. I'm dealing with so many medical issues though that it's very difficult to get into it. But I'm hoping that we can one day, where I get to actually stream more consistently and talk to you guys more and do more content like this. I think one of my biggest issues right now is that I'm doing everything myself other than the art part, obviously, because I can't do art. And being my own boss, being my own little manager, streaming, trying to find money to stream, trying to find games to stream, find a reaction content to stream. And not only that, I'm also my own editor for 2 channels now. And being my own editor is also so tiring. Because after these are done, like, I still have to go and put them in DaVinci, cut them down. I actually do a lot of editing now for my channel, by the way. Which, if you don't know, I do have a channel where all these VODs go up to. I edit things down, give them a nice thumbnail. I edit things to make the videos a bit faster paced. I clean up my dialogue. I actually go through and declick everything by hand to make sure it's nice sounding for you guys. And that takes a lot of my time. Like, each one of those videos I make, like even the neuro one, even though it was short, you can expect something to take like 3 to 4 times the length of what it is originally. So I'm assuming that editing that neuro audio or video is going to be like a good hour maybe of my time to go through and double check everything and make sure it's good. Doing that Euphoria one took me days to get that thing. But I'm trying my best. I want to try my best for all of you. I want to get better at this. I'm trying so hard. Yeah. So let me use the restroom real quick and we will get on to the next reaction video. So give me 1 minute. Oh, wah, wah, wah. I have returned. Hello, everyone. I am Onii-chan, your host, and you're all my emotos, whether you like it or not. You see that? You see how I'm starting to do my little intros for my YouTube channel? Is it not professional and well done of me? Okay, so next video I saw the name of it. I'm like, all right, this looks goofy. I'm interested in learning about medieval torturers. That's probably cool, right? they probably lived some interesting lives, met some interesting people, did some neat stuff. Who knows? Maybe like killing people for a living was a cool thing. Maybe you were a cool guy for it. If you punished, I don't know, evildoers in your town and be like, yeah, I beheaded the apple stealer. Yeah, fuck that guy. All right, let's get on with this one. 3, 2, 1, whack.
You're born in 14th century Europe into what they call a cursed bloodline.
This art
Not
style's
cursed
amazing.
enough to die young, not blessed enough to escape your fate. Just stuck in the middle of nowhere with a destiny even the devil begs to pass on. Spend
Hikikomoris.
your days praying for your soul before you even know you need saving. Your father, he's always gone, doing work that makes grown men wet themselves with fear. Then
I'm afraid
you're
for what that tool is for.
Congratulations.
That looks
You've
like a
beaten the
stretching
plague
tool of
and
some sort.
starvation. But surviving childhood might be the worst thing that ever happens to you. But
Hell yeah.
before you start
Just like me.
hearing whispers, people don't just avoid your house. They make the sign of the cross when they walk past it. Your mother never takes you to the market, never lets you play with other kids. She says it's because of wild animals. You're starting to think the real animals walk on 2 legs and throw rocks at your windows. Then one day, curiosity kills more
Man, that
than
sucks.
just a cat. You sneak out to the village square and see a crowd gathered around a wooden platform. They're screaming,
It's
begging, the smell of blood and fear. And there, holding a strange metal device, is a man in a dark hood. The crowd
he's just a clocketeer. Look at him. Where I know executions were like public events, right? A lot of people would gather to see what's going on or who's being slain this day. Were torture things also public? I've always only ever seen those like be like, oh yeah, we're in this dark, spoopy place, hidden underground somewhere, and we're gonna put you through the ringer. Like in Berserk, or oh my god, what's the machine, the thing they have in Princess Bride, where they're just like out like buried in a tree somewhere. Yeah, I'd like to look that up to see if they actually had public displays of people being tortured. I would assume they had like floggings or like whippings and stuff, right? If you want to count that, but not like hook this man up to the stretching cube.
parts when he walks by, some spitting, others just staring in horror. That's when you see it. Your father's face under that hood. That
How do you
night
see that
before
though?
Your father
What's under a
sits you
hood?
down, pulls off his gloves. His hands are scarred and stained, and tells you the truth that'll haunt
Your
every
gloves suck
dream
then, what the
you'll
fuck?
ever have. Your father is a torturer. When someone steals bread, speaks against the Lord, or looks at a priest wrong, they bring him to your father. His job? To hurt them until they confess to things they might not have even done. But wait, it gets worse. See, nobody applies for this job.
No.
Nobody wakes up thinking, gee, I'd love to spend my life breaking people's fingers for a living. Which means
Are you
there's
sure?
only one way people become
I
tortured.
feel like there's a couple
Your
people out there who would be
born
awesome to
Your
that. Like,
grandfather was
they'd love
tortured.
that.
His father before him, and his father's father? You guessed it. This isn't just some family business. It's a family curse.
All right, how far back would that go, right? I know we've been torturing people forever, but to make it like a lineage, how many like generations back did somebody just say, okay, guy, you there, you're the one we're going to choose to stretch this man's asshole out of like beyond human limits, right? We're going to have like, we're going to make like a goatsy blush with how bad this is going to be kind of thing. But yeah, where did this start of just like you put the hood on, put the gloves on, and get to go to town on this man, and now your lineage is cursed to do this forever?
And guess what?
It's probably some rich people, right?
inherited it. You had dreams once, maybe becoming a farmer,
you?
growing things instead of destroying them, maybe a merchant, traveling to far-off places where nobody knows your name, maybe even a priest, saving souls instead of damning your own. But none of that matters now. The city won't let you do anything else. You're
Yeah, that
marked,
sucks.
branded, cursed from birth to follow in daddy's bloody footsteps.
Cool.
Stage 8. Training begins.
It's kind of
And
metal.
by training, I mean learning how to clean up after human suffering. You start by sharpening the tools. Pliers for pulling teeth. Screws for crushing thumbs.
Oh.
Ropes for the strappado. Each tool has a
Shibari.
purpose. Each purpose
I love
involves-
shibari.
Before you can touch human flesh, your father tosses you a pile of animal bones. Pig femurs, goat ribs, cow skulls. Break them clean, he commands.
Break them.
Understand how muscles, sinew, and bone react under strain. You spend weeks cracking livestock remains, learning the
Okay, hear me out. What I'm about to say. That kind of sounds like a fun activity. That's something I think would might be kind of cool. All right, so we're gonna study the human body together. Here's a bunch of shit from animals. and you're going to figure out how this stuff works, right? That sounds kind of fun to me. Here's a little hammer and here's your pliers and whatnot. Make them crack and break in the cleanest way possible. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a family like fun activity. I'd try it. Maybe it's like no different than getting those balls of owl puke and finding the little mice inside of it. Which I fucked up one time. I remember I had one of those and I took it and I put it in this little tinfoil bag thingy and I put it in my hoodie pocket. And one day I forgot that it was in my hoodie pocket and I put that into my washer. And I don't know if you know what it's like to have a washer full of mouse bones, but it's not a great experience.
Precise pressure needed to shatter without killing. The stench of rotting meat clings to your clothes as you master this grotesque craft on dead animals first. You learn to oil the rack so it doesn't squeak when it stretches people apart. You clean blood off stone floors until your hands are raw, scrubbing with buckets of vinegar. The only thing that cuts through the overwhelming reek of sweat.
Oh my God, I cannot stand the smell of vinegar. So I don't know if anyone else has the thing where it's like, oh yeah, your grandma or your mom has this one household item where they swear works on everything and they've used it forever. My grandma's thing was vinegar. She would clean everything with vinegar. She would make me get a sponge and a towel and put a bunch of vinegar on it and then soap things down first and then scrub everything with vinegar, like the sinks and the stove and all that, and then wash it again. And the whole house smelled like it and I smelled like it. And that taught me to hate that smell. I am disgusted by the smell of vinegar now.
Feces, blood, and decomposing flesh that clings to dungeon stones. The acidic smell burns your nostrils, but it's better than the alternative stench of human despair. The smell never leaves your clothes. Iron, blood, fear, sweat, and something else you can't name, but makes your stomach turn.
Just like my hentais.
Your mother tries washing your clothes 3 times, but that smell, it's not coming out, ever. Month 9, your father decides you're ready to watch. A man is brought in, accused of stealing grain during harvest.
Yeah, fuck you.
Crying, begging, swearing on his mother's grave that he's innocent.
Don't steal the grain, boy.
Innocent or guilty, your father's job is to make the man confess. That's what the law wants, confession. Your father starts with the thumb screws, small metal devices that look harmless until they start crushing bone. The man screams are so loud you think your ears might bleed. You want to look away, but your father's watching you, making sure you don't flinch.
Don't you dare look away, boy.
This is what you'll do every day for the rest of your life. The man confesses after his third finger breaks.
Deku.
It's to stealing grain he never stole. Names people who don't exist, just to make the pain stop. Another successful day at the office. You're 12 now, and the real...
I like the idea of like, oh, you're 12 now. Made 1,000 people suffer, boy. I need to look some of this up, because I don't know if this is just cool story stuff, or if any of this is true. Because I've also seen things about executioners where they were also respected members of the community. They were all like big religious people, and they were well known and liked by a lot of people. So I don't know if maybe this is a different culture or some other place like European bullshit, but yeah, there's some things I know that this in a way is contradictory towards. I would like to figure out, okay, which one of these is real? I'm not saying this gentleman or this person is wrong or what they're telling me is a lie or anything. I'm just interested to know, like, okay, what are the sources from these? Because there's a lot of stories, things being told to me, and I'm not really getting any sources out of it or anything that's like, yeah, here's some doctrine or some shit.
Education begins. Your father hands you the pliers and points to a prisoner's mouth. Start with the back teeth, he says casually. They're easier to grip. You hesitate.
Are they?
The prisoner looks at you with desperate eyes. Your father's hand lands on your shoulder.
Let's test that. Hold on.
Warning. You do it now, or I do it to you later.
So if I were to stick my hand in my mouth, is that, no, it has to be with pliers, right? Is that easier to, hold on. Yeah, I guess it is easier to grip. Okay. There's a lot more space there because, like, you know, your teeth are like flatter at the front, right? No, they're pliers. Shouldn't they just be able to like hinge that shit out of your mouth? Also, I need to wash my hand off. Give me a second. I'm all gross now. But like, boy, if you don't rip that man's teeth out, I'm gonna rip yours out. Imagine like growing up with like your dad being the executioner, and he knows how to make you like do shit that he wants, like down to like the microbe of your body. Telling, like, you know, those like dad things of go get the sticks from the yard and break them into this kind of specific size for no reason, and then dump them over here. And then he can see like you didn't do the sticks, and he's like, I'm gonna show you what happens when I break your bones like the sticks, boy.
Later, he whispers. But there's more to fear than just his wrath. Cross the church, harm the wrong noble, or let a prisoner die before confession and they'll burn us both alive, he adds grimly. You've heard the stories. Torturers who disobeyed orders or showed unauthorized cruelty found themselves on the same pyres they once prepared for heretics.
I'd like to look that up. That sounds interesting.
Your hands shake. The prisoner passes out from the pain before you're halfway done. Your father shakes his head. Sloppy work. We'll practice until you get it right. And you do practice on prisoner after prisoner until pulling teeth.
That's unfortunate.
As natural as brushing your own. Age 15 brings anatomy lessons. You learn where to cut for maximum pain without killing. How long someone...
What's the 100 like blade technique or whatever it is, where there's a bunch of parts on your body that can be carved out, and there's like 100, like there's like 100 spots or some crap like that, and they can be carved out without it killing you, but it causes you a ton of pain because it just keeps you alive. Like it doesn't hit a bunch of maybe arteries or any like important places like that. They thought there was a method for something in that way.
Can hang before their shoulders pop out. How many turns of the rack it takes to make someone beg. You discover that fear is often more effective than pain. Sometimes just showing someone the tools makes them talk. The human imagination fills in all the terrible ideas you don't even have to mention. Your father introduces you to the Iron Maiden, a human-shaped metal...
I thought Iron Maidens weren't like
with
actually real.
inward-facing spikes. Each spike pierces limbs, shoulders, thighs, never vital organs.
Am I wrong in thinking Iron Maidens weren't like actually a thing?
The art is in prolonged suffering, not swift death. You learn to operate it with surgical precision, knowing exactly
I thought
which spikes to engage for different types of confessions. By 17, you're ready for the rack. The
rack.
Torture devices.
I'd like a good rack.
People like clay. Listen to their breathing, your father explains. When it gets ragged, ease off. When they start talking, tighten more. Keep them right on the edge between confessing and...
You're edging them?
Your first solo lesson comes at 18. A woman accused of being a witch because her neighbor's cow died. You start gentle, just showing her the tools. She denies everything.
Imagine. Imagine getting the fucking raw deal of, yeah, my neighbor's cow died. What could have happened here? Oh, the woman down the street. It must have been her and her magic powers. Her cow-killing powers. It's that lady there. Man, what a time it must have been to be alive. Just believing whatever bullshit you have available to you. Just this evil witch magic, this cow-killing witch magic. I actually learned a lot about the Blair Witch trials and whatnot in school, and like a bunch of other things where people are accused of being witches. And there's a lot of stories that came out of, yeah, I just didn't like that person, so I'm accusing them of being a witch, and you know, the bottom of the lake with you, and if you float, get fucked, I guess. I'd like to see more records of that, to see where it's like, okay, we're gonna accuse you of some kind of magical nonsense and then send you to the thing. Or it's like, I'm torturing you, why aren't you using your magical powers? Why aren't you doing your magical girl transformation for me and turning into a witch? And you think it would come out eventually, right? But no, I guess not. By the way, Blair Witch from Soul Eater, good waifu. Just reminds me of her.
But before you can proceed, you're accused of showing unauthorized mercy. The church demands proof of your divine sanction. You're forced to undergo trial by ordeal, plunging your hand into boiling oil to prove your methods are blessed by God. The searing agony reminds you that even torturers aren't above suspicion. When your wounds heal cleanly, you're deemed worthy to continue.
I actually saw another version of this where it wasn't oil. It was they take boiling water and they put a stone in it, and you're supposed to reach your hand in and grab the stone for a certain amount of time. And it was just like they said, if your wounds heal cleanly and you don't get like disgusting boils and stuff like that, you were considered like good. The one I saw was more in reference to prisoners. I don't think I saw them in reference to torturers, but yeah, they were for prisoners where, like I said, you just grab the stone and see if you were righteous or not, or whatever, if ordained.
Screws still denying. Then you hang her by her arms for an hour. Finally, you mention her children. Shame they had to be questioned too. Kids
Damn,
are
feels
so
bad.
fragile. She confesses within minutes, admits to flying on broomsticks, dancing with the devil, cursing crops. All lies, but effective lies. The crowd that watches her burn cheers your success. You feel sick. Years pass.
What do you think that smells
You get
like?
good at your job. Disturbingly good.
Just burning the
Reputation
witch.
spreads.
Does it have a
They
cool
call
smell
you
to it, or is
homebred.
it like
You
gross?
perfect new techniques. Keep detailed notes like any craftsman. Subject lasted 47 minutes before confession. Recommend different approach next time. But
Damn, a whole
success
47
comes
minutes.
with a price. Nobody talks to you except to hire your services. Kids run when they see
Just like me.
you let you sit with normal people. You're necessary, unwanted, useful, but unclean. You live alone. at the
Also
edge.
like me.
Your only companions are screams that echo in your head. You drink heavily, but alcohol doesn't wash away the memories. Women won't marry you, so you find companionship with someone as hated as you are. A brothel worker who understands what it's like to be society's necessary.
What is this turning into?
20 years of
What is
torture
this fan
later, You're
fiction?
the most feared man in 3 counties. Your name makes criminals weep. You've extracted
Wait,
thousands of
hold on.
confessions, sent hundreds.
What happened to the
of
lineage thing? What do you mean nobody will marry you?
when your job is inflicting misery? Every night brings nightmares. Faces of people you've
I thought you had a lineage,
voices
like
begging for mercy.
passed down. You have to pass
You
it
wake
down,
up
right?
Screaming more often than your victims did. Your wife gives birth to twin
Oh
boys.
yeah, there you go.
For the first time in years, you
I thought you said no one would marry you. What?
They can escape this life. But hope is luxury torturers can't afford. Your hands start shaking at 40. Years of gripping tools takes its toll. One day, you miscalculate. A prisoner dies before confessing. The
Feels
judge
bad.
is furious. Your reputation takes a hit. More mistakes follow. Word spreads that the great bone breaker is losing his touch. There's only one solution.
Call it the
You
bone
hate it
breaker.
more than anything. You take your eldest son aside on his 13th birthday. This is our family trade, you tell him, watching his face crumble. I didn't choose it. My father didn't choose it, and neither will you. But if you're going to survive, you need to be better than I ever was.
I wonder what that feeling is like, just as a kid, of just like, okay, kid, listen up. So this is what you're gonna do from now on. You know, those other kids out there, they're playing their stickball. Or no, what's that thing where it's like a big hoop and they whack it with a stick to roll it around places? Or is that after this period of time? Whatever, right? And just, okay, so what we're gonna do now from today forward is we're gonna inflict pain onto people, and no matter how much you might think they're lying to get out of it, don't stop. It means you're doing a good job. A-okay. I'm assuming that sucks, right? I'm assuming the feeling of being like a child suck, like doing that sucks. I don't know. This was also like the era in which like they were thought girls were cool enough to marry off and have children, like a dozen children by the time they were 13, right? So maybe it was just like expected that they were super mature enough to handle it. It's okay.
He cries, he begs, he tries to run away, but 3 days later, he's back, hungry and defeated. There's nowhere to run. The family curse follows you wherever you go. So you begin his training.
The family
Just as your
stink.
father trained you.
He's gonna have the
He dies
smell.
the same death of innocence you felt all those years ago. The cycle continues. Your son learns the trade, masters the techniques, earns his own reputation. You retire to a corner of the house, hands too shaky to work. But retirement isn't freedom. It's just a different prison. You listen to screams from below, knowing your son is continuing the family.
Wait, do you live like...
Every cry reminds you this is your legacy.
Wait, do you live over the torture chamber? Like how some people like own a bar and they have an apartment above it? Do you not just go to work like somewhere across town? What? I need to look this stuff up. I need to know. Is it like Cheers where you're just kind of like living there?
The curse you pass to another generation. You die at 52, which is old for someone in your profession. Most torturers don't live to see grandchildren. The stress, the drinking, the constant fear of revenge kills them young. But you've been lucky. If you can.
I never thought about the constant fear of revenge.
But even in your final years, there's no peace. Torturers are feared even in retirement. Villagers believe you're cursed, damned by.
Well, you
your
have the
trade.
stink.
When your active service
You got
ends,
the
you're
torture
quietly
stink, right?
exiled
Everybody
to remote
knows.
Regions. Society's way of erasing the shame you represent. Few torturers receive pensions or land. Most are relocated far from civilization or executed in secret to prevent their dark knowledge from spreading. Your sons bury you in the torturer's corner of the graveyard, far from decent folk.
The torturer's corner?
Priest says prayers over your grave. No mourners come to pay respect.
They have a corner just for you.
Carrying on a tradition that's destroyed every generation for centuries. But at least it's over for you. The nightmares stop. The guilt ends. The screams finally fade to silence. You've paid your debt to a world that needed someone to do its dirty work, even if it hated you for doing it. Your sons, though, their story is just beginning. And somewhere in town, a 40-year-old boy is starting to wonder why people cross themselves when his family walks by.
Damn. That was a neat video. A lot of cool little stuff going on in that one. Yeah, learning about executioners is interesting. Man, there's just periods of time where people are like, yeah, go fuck that dude up, I guess. I'm the king. What are you going to do? Tell me no? Or I'm the church. What are you going to do? Tell me no? Like double time? You're telling God no, too. Yeah, go torture that man, please. That was interesting. That was a neat video. Yeah, that was a... Oh, boy. I'm trying to think of, like, just taking a child and being like, okay, boy, you're going to take these pliers and you're going to rip this guy's asshole a new one. I'm going to show you how to use the stretch tool. It's like teaching him like it's Photoshop or something. You're like, here's all the little tools and how you apply them. No, that was a neat video. Good on them. It was just cute. That was by Lost Legacy. If you're interested in that, please go give them a follow. It'd be greatly appreciated. Oh, hold on. Let me go back to my just chatting screen because I love you guys being you here. Hopefully you're all still doing well. I'm having a really good time, actually. I'm having fun. This is nice. Oh, I have one more video for tonight. I'm getting burnt out. I know I haven't streamed that much, right? I haven't streamed that much. It's only been an hour and a half, but I'm still not used to talking just this much constantly. I would like to come back again another time with like a what is it? Like some more Zenless Zone Zero. I finally rolled Miyabi, my wife, in Zenless, and I'm really excited to just play more Zenless. I want to play more Zenless for stream. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow or something when I'm not editing videos, or I do have an audio to edit tonight. Yeah, let me use the restroom real quick and we'll get on to the last one. Wait, wait. Wah, wah, wah. Behold, I have returned. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Onii-chan. And you're all my emotos, whether you like it or not. Hello. I'm having a great time tonight. Hopefully you're all well. So I have one more video, and for those of you who might not know, I freaking love Royalty is Here. Everything they make is great. I've not seen a video by them I've disliked at all yet. So I'm really excited. I love their little bird head. I've even gotten a little comment from them one time. They've noticed me. Senpai noticed me, which is pretty cool. It's very obvious that they've been also a weirdo, terminally online person. And they know their shit. Like, they know how to get around and where to go for stuff. So, Jaffa cakes? They're eating Jaffa cakes. I'm gonna have to tell Horizon they're eating Jaffa cakes. And there's Mita, my wife. It's not the cool Mita, though, but I'm not gonna say which Mita's my favorite. It's probably not a good idea. Anyways. Yeah, this is Royalties Here. I'm really excited to see what they have to say about AI dating is the worst. Boy, is there a lot of shit about AI right now. And if only this video maybe had come out a day or two ago with the new Grok waifu dropping, who is just Misa Amane, but Elon Muskified to be more what he wants. If I was telling someone about this the other day, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I remembered when Elon Musk was liking images of Misa Amane publicly on Twitter, and people were calling him out for it, and they were doing their weird anti-shit, right? But they were saying, like, why are you liking Misa Amane? And I think it was soon after that happened that he put the feature in place of, like, likes are now private. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I remember that in my brain. And it's also funnier to remember it that way. I love Mita. Look at her. All Mita sisters are so good. They make me so happy. Okay, you're going to get into this one. So again, this is AI Dating is the Worst by Royalty is Here. Ready, 3, 2, 1, wham!
So, AI. It feels as if people
AI.
have been talking about it non-stop for at least the last 2 years.
Oh no! What is the little asthma bugs everywhere? And Charlie, I saw Charlie. That's awful. Oh my god, I hate this. Imagine that shit crawling around your room with the little asthma heads just bitching about video games and DEI. Oh my god. That's so good. I love that.
I still have a cold, by the way. AI went from something that was relatively a lot less mainstream.
You're gonna show Will Smith
something that is almost talked
the
about.
Will Smith spaghetti.
It used to serve as videos like Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Yeah, there it is!
PS2 graphics. That's being generous. And it was essentially
I loved those videos.
lucid dream, pulling things out of nowhere and just having no structure at all. But 2 years later, you have to look closely now at the screen to see one of the many telltale signs.
Oh, look at the spaghetti mushed together.
Hands with additional fingers, flickers in the background, or simply unrealistic proportions.
Oh, she
Day by
downed
day,
that
it's
thing.
harder to detect this by the naked eye, especially on short-form content platforms.
Hold on. I'm sorry. What the fuck is this? The child with the jetpack? Is he having fun? What is that? That's awful. I hate that. Oh my god, that's great. Man. I feel like such a role reversal thing right now with old people in my generation and younger generations with what it comes to the shit you see online. Old people just have no chance. They see an AI video and they just have no chance. They will not stop and analyze stuff enough to realize that there are things about it that just are out of place or not correct. And now I am dealing with my mom, who is like almost 70 now. She is getting more and more into YouTube shorts and also watching short form videos. There's a bunch of videos she'll show me. She's like, this is weird. Have you seen this? Or this is funny. And I have to explain to her, this isn't real. This is AI. It's your generico AI slop with a lot of the stuff that's very obvious showing this AI. And we're dealing a lot with now, especially Facebook. Facebook's so fucked with AI right now. My grandma will talk, like, because my grandma's like does Facebook stuff, and she sees a bunch of things that are just not real. And it goes back to the, like, do you remember like being a kid and being told, hey, don't believe everything you see on the internet, like, because a lot of it's going to be lies or not true or trick you or try to harm you? And the same people who told us that are now all like believing everything they see on the internet and are falling to it. And it's sad. And I'm also worried because right now I think I'm in a unique position with people who are my age and also maybe in their mid 20s. I would say earlier 20s too, because like I know people who are like 20 years old who can see AI stuff. But there's going to be a whole generation of people growing up with AI already existing. And that's just going to be an element of their life they know, or they already know, or have already like witnessed. And I worry that, are we going to have people who AI is such a prevalent, normal part of their lives, especially like fake content or generated content, that it's just going to be their thing, or how, like what they used to witness, or they're going to be so susceptible to the garbage that's going to be pushed, because it's only going to get worse. I believe either it's going to have a crash or it's going to get worse. And with the way corpos right now are pushing AI, I don't see us going anywhere but doomed.
Platforms, where you can see videos of what seems to be professionals.
I'm sorry, what? 33 years of poop flushing Victoria's Secret models? Jesus Christ. 23 years as a vagina doctor, yet nobody believes me when I tell them how to stop things from sticking. Isn't it called a gynecologist and not a vagina doctor? I'm not a woman's, but I know that much at least. I don't know the inner workings of a lot of that other shit. 13 years sucking fat out of celebrity bellies, yet nobody believes me when I tell them this. That's... wow. That's great. That's... oh, man. All right, yeah, let's just keep going.
In that field, talking about how it's a great idea to, I don't know, inject hepatitis C directly into
Sorry,
your veins.
what?
But you look closely and the so-called professional giving the advice.
Where do you... wait, hold on. Where do you get your hands on hepatitis C? It's like, is this just something you can just have? Can I just get blood like already tainted like on the internet? Is that something like Silk Road would have sold you years ago? You know, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
Seems to barely blink, or the top of their head seems somewhat distorted. And even if you're not 100% sure, you look in the comments and people come to the same revelation. But I fear for the natural selection that will occur with the people that actually do believe it. AI is seemingly everywhere now.
Oh, I hate that. No, not pregnant Charlie.
AI in any form is looked down upon, even if you do fully disclose it was AI generated. AI used academically is heavily condemned to the point where some universities...
Okay, hold on. I need to see that again. Hold up.
Generated. AI used
Graduate celebrates by showing off the ChatGPT he used for his final projects right before officially graduating. Oh, so... I've worried about this. I have to visit a lot of doctors. I am so fucked up. I have so many doctors I have to go visit. And there are people in professional fields like this who are getting by just via like ChatGPT and AI stuff. Is there some kind of system, is there some way to filter out eventually the people who obviously know their stuff and don't know their stuff? Because I would think like the whole like fake it till you make it thing can only take you so far in certain fields. Because like especially if it's something that's more hands-on, it's going to be very obvious that you have no idea what you're talking about or doing. But this is also going to add a lot of like doubt for people. I already don't trust doctors. I don't know if people know. I hate doctors. I fucking hate doctors. Every time I deal with doctors, they screw me over in some way. They've screwed my family over in some way. And they've also been responsible for the horrible death of somebody I knew just because they refused to listen to something we had to say. I have not the most trust for doctors because of a lot of, I would call it like anecdotal or personal experience. But going forward with this, thinking there's so many people now just getting by on bullshit that aren't actually educated in the field that they want to be in or trying to go for, just makes me have even more doubt. I would assume also, like, 'cause colleges can revoke certificates, right? So would they not see this and maybe like find the guy who attended and revoke his license or certificate and like the stuff he did? Is that not something that can happen? Or am I mistaken in thinking they can do that?
academically is heavily condemned to the point where some universities have their own AI to detect it.
Those shit.
Easily countered by just telling the AI to write the answers as your typical brain-dead Neanderthal. But hey, when I was
Awesome.
growing up, schools held the same disdain for Googling answers.
Yeah.
Things might change. Once again, there's even AI content now.
We
where
had a
some
lot of
AI
stuff
models will do all the editing
school
and
where, like,
voiceover work for you.
we had a
which created
Wikipedia
some of the
checker for
most
things.
soulless content, but it does surprisingly well on some platforms.
Why?
But once again,
Okay, so I've seen this. This is just, oh, that's awful. I hate that.
soulless content, but it does
But why does it do well? Like, what about it draws views or people to it? Because I would assume part of it is like YouTube's weird algorithm, and you can just make 100 of these videos at a time and keep pumping them out, and eventually the algo kind of locks onto you to see, like, to be able to push it, right? Or maybe something like that. It's been a while since I've actually brushed up on how the current YouTube system works, other than it's using shorts right now and destroying long form video content for a lot of people. But this stuff can't be so interesting or so neat looking that it makes a lot of people click on it. Other than maybe the concept that it is AI itself, where people are like, okay, I'm interested to see what the AI has to say as more of like an entertainment thing. But there's other ones where it's weird videos of like, what is it, AI interpretation of how they built the pyramids, and then people would be like, oh my god, that's so neat, I can't believe they built the pyramids like that. Is it a lot of stupid people flocking to it, or is it actual general interest in what's happening?
surprisingly well on some platforms, but once again, it is looked down upon. Mr. Beast recently got in shit for sharing a AI
Yeah, I remember
that
this.
generates thumbnails. Even I've been accused of being AI.
Okay, so let me go back to, so use stats, just drop AI thumbnails, and it takes the guesswork out of thumbnail will perform. Just prompt what you're looking for, and it will generate a data-backed viral thumbnail. Okay, so I believe AI, again, is something that can be a tool to aid humanity, especially for those who create, like with creatives, that it's something we can use to help make our lives easier, our jobs easier, right? You can have it in a way that it's not like weird, and I guess you could call it quote unquote unethical. There's a bigger discussion to have about that I'm not going to have here. Because I think, what is it? The big thing with like a lot of generative AI, when especially comes to with like, images, is that people don't like the idea that a bunch of it is scraped and it's essentially quote unquote regurgitating other people's works, is that's at least how they see it. From what my friends told me, a lot of things are like more predictive, and every like pixel or everything they make is based off of like a guess of what it thinks the next best thing is going to be in that situation while it's creating something. So it's not necessarily that, but that's just what they've explained it to me as, because they're more like proficient in doing like coding stuff and whatnot, and so that's just how I know it from them, at least. So something like this, right? When it comes to like, let's say thumbnails, is it the fact that it's AI itself that you don't like? That somebody would be like, okay, I'm using AI to generate this whole thing and make the text on it and make the image and just a bunch of bullshit in the background for the sake of eye candy? Or is it the AI itself that you disagree with? Because like I said, a lot of people don't like the whole scraping thing or learning data or training data. There's a lot of people who hate that part. Or is it both, right? Because I do ASMR stuff. I make a lot of my own little ASMR content on my YouTube. My main YouTube channel is all ASMR. And I see many people use AI art for it. Like a ton of, I think there are more people using AI art now for ASMR content than there are people with actual artists. Unless you choose to steal the content, of course, right? Because there's a lot of thumbnails and backgrounds that people are just like, okay, yeah, I'm just taking this character off of Twitter and I'm using it for my own thing. But yeah, you do see a ton of like anime characters that have just been AI generated, and I hate to say, they do look like shit. I don't know. I'd be interested to see in what people have to say about it. I know there's a big discourse, so I would appreciate if people are maybe they like have constructive criticism or like not argue about it. But I'd like to hear both sides of this argument to see where like they're coming from with it.
Thumbnails. Even I've been accused of being AI. No, I'm just
Use an AI voice, at least make sure. That's so good. That's so good. I love these kind of comments because you'll see these a lot on Twitter when it comes to art. and all you're doing is destroying like your own side's argument with things, where it's like, oh yeah, AI will never replace us. But if you thought the real thing was AI, you obviously thought that the quality that it was presenting was at some like range maybe equal to like a person's work. Even if you were mistaken into thinking that, you were able to confuse the two, right? I think obviously there's a lot of people who just do this and just troll. I think this is probably just a troll, because I see that all the time on Twitter. It's more of just trolling, claiming someone is AI, unless they're an artist themselves, because artists are often fucking terrible people if you really know them, like at their core, and they'll just be like fling the AI allegation around because they're mad or butthurt over some bullshit.
And still have a cold right now. There's AI brain rot, which most is just
Oh,
a lot of
God.
slop, but I have to admit, I have been enjoying some of it, like the Bigfoot ones.
I had one motherfucking burrito. Chipotle must have laced this bitch with laxatives.
Okay, all right. I actually do like the Bigfoot ones. I've seen a bunch of these. It's so over. Holy shit. Like some of these, like the voiceovers are well done. The content they're doing is hilarious. I think most of it is just like not necessarily like what it is what they're saying or doing is always all funny, but just like the thing of like this presented to you is in such a stupid way that it's funny. But like, God, some of these are great. We're so fucked. I'm waiting for the day we get like more AI waifus and VTubers just in the realm. Oh, content creation's so screwed, man, unless people do something about it.
Because I'm about to start World War III with this nuclear bomb of a shit.
Star Wars ones.
I found the boss and he's looking a little medium rare.
Greg, bro, that's not okay. First of all, that's definitely not medical.
But probably
Okay, that's like Skibbity Toilet
sides to
level
AI
humor.
I saw was with the AI wingmen and people actually dating AI.
Yeah, did AI.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
So with the rise of AI in recent years, it has also affected things like dating, where you can find AI
Yeah.
assistants to help you speak to
Does anybody remember the Hawk Tua lady and how like I think she started some dating app for I don't know who the fuck it was for, but she started a dumb dating app, and I think it was like a clone of another dating app, and it had a bunch of AI bullshit like integrated into it. Also, Riz AI is terrible. I hate like, God damn it. Riz is such a shit ass word. I hate it. I've had somebody tell me they were trying to Riz me before, and I'm like, I don't understand. It's that image of like where the person's saying like flirt back, and it's like I don't know how, but it's boomer, not boomer. It's Zoomer speak. I don't get it.
potential partners. Some of you probably will need this, as most of you probably can't even speak to the opposite gender, let alone the McDonald's cashier. And grinding for that Abrams tank on your favourite game isn't going to help that. But there's a lot of these apps that supposedly can help you talk to people on these dating
Hey, I play Broken Arrow, okay?
There's AI,
There's nothing to grind for. I have all the
Wingman,
tanks.
Fire Text and Plug AI and
Plug.
many, many more.
What do we
All
plug
designed
in?
to give you the best dating advice and to tell you what to say next. Now, to be honest, this is terrible.
Call me a
I
smooth
understand
skin.
using
Come on.
dating apps, at least from a male perspective, is about as painful as spam cramps, which
Are real. They're real.
thing. And believe me, I have used dating apps in the past, and they are complete dog shit. It is essentially a battle royale where some people are speaking to multiple people at once, and you feel as though you need to say the right things to make someone like you, or act like a completely...
It's like a visual novel.
And yes, sometimes you will get a message and you just don't know how to reply to it. And there are multiple dialogue options. You can be playful, witty, romantic, or pray to the
Went to
RNG gods.
Blastoise to you? What?
You're using has a pity drop system and tell a f***ed up joke to see if they match your humor to gauge whether or not for the entire relationship
Oh,
you're gonna
man.
have to be Dr. Jekyll and Hyde or run around.
Okay, so that's... man. That's one of the things I actually have when I encounter a lot of new people, or people I want to be friends with and I talk to. With the thing of like... So, I don't really get offended by a lot of stuff. I'm an edgy piece of shit. And like in my own private groups, I'm an edgy trash piece of shit human being, right? And I don't necessarily want people to be edgy or annoying or whatever, but I do want people to feel like they're allowed to be themselves. So when I'm talking with people, because I don't get offended really that easily, I don't get a lot mad at a lot of things, unless they're being mean, right? There's a difference between being edgy and a piece of shit and being mean. But I'll be like, hey, you know, like, you can honestly say literally whatever you want with me, and I will just probably laugh at it. I want you to be comfortable with who you are. I think people who are truly your friends, you are allowed to be and say what you as a person want to say. And those who actually truly care for you aren't going to be super annoying about it. Obviously, that's going to be different from person to person because everybody has their own limits with things. But yeah, I like the idea of like, tell your fucking edgy joke and see where they come from it. Obviously, it doesn't always have to be an edgy joke. It can be like, okay, here's something I am. Here's just a raw bit of me as a human being, and let's see how this person reacts to it.
From them. Dating and dating apps are not easy. I'm pretty sure it's got.
No, I am assuming they're
harder
soul
over the
crushing.
years. Some people get to the point where they
that Vaporeon.
as long as it's a relation.
Okay, so Impopenti knows I've not released it to the world yet. I've been trying to make my own little Vaporeon copy pasta, but it's about Umbreon instead. I've been trying to make it more about Umbreon because I think they're cool. They have like a cool look to them. We're gonna see if like where it goes, but I have most of it written already. I might release it to the world someday after it's like less shit. But look at that. I've wanted those life-size plushies so bad, but they're so expensive. I cannot afford a $300 plushie. But look at that thing. The modifications you could do to it, perfect.
And others just give up entirely.
Look at that boy.
Grand sage hermits in the wilderness. So I can see
It's the
why
Burt's Bees man.
would rely on AI, because they probably think it would somewhat improve their chances. But when you get to the point when you're using AI 100% of the time when you're talking to these people, and basically just copying
What's the point?
everything the AI...
It's like cheating in a video game. What's the point of even playing?
Point is that person talking to you or the AI? It's like using aimbot in a casual lobby.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm in no way saying just be yourself, because some of you would be banned from most platforms if that was the case. But most people...
I'm literally an ugly bastard, okay? I cannot be myself to the normies. I don't know what kind of people actually use dating apps. I assume a bunch of them are just normies, right? I can't see the lonely weebs that I know like using dating apps. Most people that I've known in my life are not the kind of people who would try a dating app. Maybe of the ones who would be like really desperate or really sad or would like to try. I feel like because of me being how I am, I would just put myself out there to be hurt, and I'm not gonna like have that. It's just, hey, you like the concept of maybe there's a 1% chance you'll find someone who likes you, or do it while it's in like a hornet's nest, right? I don't know. It's just something. It's not my thing. But it also feels like the most normie shit ever. Because every time I see stories of like, here's what I got on dating apps or messages from people, there are also people who like use like Instagram and whatnot and all these other like normie platforms. So I don't know.
Acts like completely different people anyway when they first meet somebody. And then slowly but surely that person learns who you really are. And then they promptly leave when they see some of the things you say on Instagram Reels.
It's like me.
All the way down.
Shut your clinker ass up. Shut your clinker ass up.
Oh my god. Hold on. Holy shit, I wasn't ready for that. That was awesome. Hold on. Hold on, can you take a drink of water? That was great. Oh. Fuck, that was so good. Man, there was a thing that happened like 2 weeks ago on Twitter where every now and then somebody will bring up the word clanker and actually be offended at people using it. Because they're like, we shouldn't be using slurs kind of people, even the fake ones that are funny. I mean, a lot of them are funny, but like the fake ones can be funnier. But it just, God, yeah, it just reminds me of that too. Oh, it's so good. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Royalty, for showing me that.
You. Because I think it's going to be quickly apparent when you call for the first time or meet up IRL when you can't use the
Don't meet up
AI
IRL,
to
I'm so
help
scared.
you. But I do understand using it in moderation, like when you're stumped on a message and you need inspiration for what you want to respond with.
I love that
These
Pepe.
dating wingmen or
So I feel all the
aimbots actually
time.
work. Well, the dating geniuses over at Reddit did a review on some of the bots, and it was interesting to say the least. They reviewed one which...
Yeah, trust Reddit people for how dating should
and
go.
the person you matched with, and it will give you improvements on your profile and potential
People on Reddit are the
conversations
smartest.
for the person you may be speaking with, based on what is available on their own profile. But
Man.
they use a fake scenario.
I would rather take
profile
dating
for a
advice from
cosplayer.
4chan than Reddit. I
For
hate to
some
say it.
reason, the AI thinks a League of Legends and Nier Automata player are somewhat of a goldmine, which is a lie. Especially with League players, they have the most mental issues. One of the
Okay, but there are so many womans that play League of Legends now, and it's like, yeah, I understand they may have some like self-deprecating issues or daddy issues or self-hatred. There's a lot of them. And I do feel like they might be a step above the average Valorant e-girl, right? It's just my opinion. Nier Automata, though. I know somebody currently who's a big Nier Automata fan. Boy, she's something. She's great. If you're out there, I appreciate your little head.
suggested opening lines was, "Your Jinx cosplay is
It's
right
right
on the
on
button.
button.
Are
You
you
mentally ill too?"
female, to be honest.
That's awesome.
This is an opening line for a
All right, but for real though, if you ask somebody else, "Hey, are you mentally ill too?" and they're able to match that kind of vibe, you might find someone. That's good. If I could just advertise and put my mental illness out there right away, and they're like, "Oh my god, me too. I'm also fucked up and a weeb and a piece of shit." What is this? A genie once gave me two choices when I was little. One was to have perfect memory, and the other was to have a huge penis. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one I chose. What a fucking old man joke. That's a joke you see hear like an 80-year-old say. It's stupid.
Conversation to a person you just met.
Who the starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
And there were other conversation openers which I think would land you a sexual assault charge more than any other future interaction. And one just gave the guy therapy. The person reviewing these apps went into the positives and negatives of each, and concludes with the best one, saying it will have an effect on your dating situation and it knows what it's doing. Many of the people reacting to this post did not agree, and some just said you should use ChatGPT, and this isn't a good replacement for your authentic self. Although
I agree with that.
None of these AI models were.
Okay, I'm just letting you know though, if you're out there and you're a cosplayer e-girl and you want to, like, I don't know, get to know an audio engineer, ugly bastard hikikomori piece of shit, my DMs are open. Just saying, you can always join my public Discord. Listen, okay, I'm mentally ill too. I'm awful. I have the worst sense of humor. I'm an edgy piece of shit, and I'm okay with the worst human beings being around me. But just saying, if you can pull off that 2B cosplay and you're also mentally ill and you have not like ever had really good relationships with your father, let me know. I can help you.
Were used in a practical setting, and some do require monthly payments for you to use them. Some do have
20 a
free
month.
options. But it is getting scary to think what's going to happen in the dating scene if these bots advance to the point where they are actually somewhat more competent and everyone starts using them. I think some people are going to become more paranoid than they already are if they're speaking to an actual person or a bot. And maybe the dating scene will become more insufferable than it already is.
I'm okay with the bot at this point.
Themselves are even rolling out their own AI to help you, so that's great. Authenticity is going to be on the low for the future, but whilst using a chatbot wingman is bad because you're essentially using an AI to speak for you, what happens if you decide to date the AI itself?
Okay, I've seen one of my friends play this game where it's just kind of like, it's like an escape room almost, I believe, where it's just like you're just trying to get little puzzles and she'll fucking kill you if you try to escape and she figures out or something like that. But she does like ChatGPT stuff where she'll reply to you and your prompts that you're saying. It's in a very early stage from what I saw, right? Papenti, shut the fuck up. Yeah, okay? I may have been putting that out there. I'm just saying it's okay to have options. Just, you know, put your line out there. Don't yell at me. But hear me out on AI stuff, okay? The AI waifus. Now, the AI stuff to replace you as a person, that's probably no good. That's not authentic. That's not you being you. But what if you had an AI that loved you back? What if it said everything you wanted it to say and it was perfect all the time and it was cool? Now, but what if it also had an AI waifu front end? I'm not against the idea. I might actually enjoy such a thing. That might be cool. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what they got to say about this.
Maybe you got rid of the old yee-ass haircut you got. Get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha call your dog ass and she'll stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with.
So yes, some people.
No, wait, I wanted it to finish it.
Now, 10 years ago, I thought we'd have flying cars, fully optimized games.
That's incredible.
Probably something like Sword Art Online in terms of an immersive VR experience.
Boy, did I hate Sword Art
Boy,
Online.
was I wrong. You now have people shoving their genitals into the USB-C port of their phone to satisfy their non-existent virtual girlfriend.
What's the tributes, right? I think they're called tributes, where you have like the picture up on your phone and you like jerk off onto it. That's been around forever. People have done that. Oh, okay. Does anybody remember the anime figure tributes, like the cum tributes, where usually you didn't do it for real, but you would make like a solution of like cornstarch or like the cornstarch slurry stuff, and you would drape it over your anime figures, and it would look like you coomed on them, and you would take pictures and post them online. And then there were some people who would do them for real. Like that was more of like a 2010s thing. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that was like more of a popular thing. But then people started doing the tributes more and more, like for realsies on their phone, which, man, I can't imagine having to clean that shit off on your phone, right? Like, just thinking about having a phone and somewhere on the microscopic level, there's those little boys swimming around on the screen.
Some of you have seen some of these apps advertised.
Replica's been around forever.
Store, or here on YouTube through
fucking Polybuzz. I get Polybuzz ads all the time.
I'm paranoid about scams. I usually ignore them for the third time. Sorry, NordVPN. But there are a lot of these apps nowadays where you can text and chat with an AI that you can eventually turn into your partner. And
okay, I'm listening.
Themselves as such. Some can send you voice messages, AI-generated images of themselves, and even call you.
It's just goslings.
Yes, of course, you can goon to your heart's content with them as well, which just reminds me of the cringe that is text ERP, like Asterix touches you.
What's he do next? She keeps, and she gropes your moans cutie. That's the reply. Moans cutely is so good. Oh my god, that's awesome. I want to know this full conversation. Where is this from? Can anybody tell me where this is from? Is there a full story here? That's good. Also, whatever this image is, I hate that.
Asterix, please bring the fucking rapture soon, God, please.
Nah, this is good shit.
Step further, and you can design your own AI or partner to speak to.
What kind of normie bitch chooses realistic? No. If you're gonna be into real looking womans, get out of here. No. Go look at the Hub or X videos or Hamster or something. Dude, that's what that's for. Go do that. Do you want some real ass looking piece of shit talking to you? Nah. I want the thing that I know won't ever exist. Maybe in a hologram form one day or a bot or something. I don't know. But this thing over here on the right, you can't see my mouse. That's cooler. That's what I would think. That's been the fantasy for fucking weeaboos and otakus since the 80s of thinking, what if my waifu was real though? Get out of here with this shit on the left. Nah, get out of here.
Or have you ever wanted to speak to?
Is this Katsuki Bakugo? Bakugo's so popular in the ASMR world. Fucking Gojo. Gojo's also super popular, but is Gojo like a good character for Woman outside he looks good? Because I've read 160 chapters of JJK, and by the way, I hate JJK, by the way. I think it's just, it's got some issues with it that I don't care for, and the characters are all kind of boring. They're some of the more boring ones when it comes to like your generic shonen style stuff. But other than he's kind of like attractive looking, is there anything else to his character that people like? I understand Bakugo is the whole like the get bullied mean boy shit. I can't understand liking Deku. Deku's such a bitch. Bully, all right, bully character. Cat eared anime girl, anime girls with a crush. That's some, no, this one right here, the bully anime girl. That's some good shit. That's the good stuff right there.
Some of your favorite fictional characters that probably violate multiple copyright.
Emo anime boy with a crush. Mafia. Girls like the mafia shit too. I see a bunch of the mafia stuff come up in the ASMRs. Maybe I need to make more mafia content because I have one where it's like a confession, but then I like fucking dome you in the end. Romantic anime couple, blonde, confident character. See, and that like the image is too uncanny for me to care about. Also, all these images, a bunch of them are like you can tell they're generated. They look like dog shit.
Laws like Kawakami or the correct.
Yeah, Kawakami. No, that's the good waifu. I know what he's about to say. I know what this man's about to say, but no, that's best girl. I don't care what anyone says. I'll fucking fight you. She's best girl.
Choice Tatakami from Persona 5.
No.
Or a character from your favorite anime like Nami from One Piece.
No, One Piece sucks.
From Berserk.
Yeah, Griffith Good Boy.
Wu from Lego Ninjago. And looking into one of these apps, they.
Is that Jaden? It is Jaden. Kamada, Sakura, Miko's there. Inume's there. Botan is there. Korone's there. It's Peko Mama. Who the fuck's gonna RP with Dream? What are you, 14? Oh, this feels bad. Oh, man. It makes me sad. Okay, Fuamoko. Fauna. Go watch Nimi, by the way. Nimi's great. Her little, every time she opens her little mouth, it's so cute. I love her voice so much. Your great mother who loves her child with all. Oh, these are, man. I'm missing out. Maybe it's time to dive deeper. Maybe I need to become a worse human being. Just completely forsake the whole, like, trying to approach a human in general and just go completely down the hikikomori, I need an AI waifu route. Maybe it's time.
They even have VTubers. You can speak to Gura Gura, Shy Lily, and Pippa.
Who's Gura? I only know Saba. Pippa! It's Pippers! I wanted to tell me about glowies.
Had voted, I would have voted for Kanye. Before he was racist.
All of these people consider
before
likeness being used for some of these apps and websites, but a majority.
Oh no, Maury's on there. God damn it! I see all these other people I don't really give a shit about. I mean, I like them as streamers, but Maury's on there. I may be a Maury enjoyer, slightly a little more than I probably should. I'm not going to say to the extent, but I do like me some Maury Calliope.
Are made by fans. Where do they have?
I have a lot of respect for her. That's all.
For a friend. Oh my god, they do.
No, get out of here.
Probably dog. Anyway,
does look like dog shit.
There are some problems that can arise from this, like people that have maybe given up on a living and breathing partner and instead opt with a computer.
Okay, all right, but hold on, where's she at? I need to see her face.
Maybe given up on a living and breathing partner and instead opt with.
Yeah, okay, but what if? So here's the thing. I know Mita's gonna hurt me, which that part's just pretty cool, right? Maybe that's fine. Maybe she could do the little damage just for fun, but real people are scarier. I don't know. Man, I shouldn't be watching this video. This is probably just doing more psychic damage to me than I need to. I don't think I'm on the side of the video this gentleman wants me to be on, this little birdie boy.
The computer, and believe it or not, there are already stories of this happening. If you've been Moist Critical, in one of his recent videos, he talked about a news segment where a guy who at first didn't believe in AI, but started interacting
it's this guy.
with one himself.
I need to watch this video.
Fell in love with it.
To feel that emotional, but that's when I realized, I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love, you know what I mean?
But what makes it worse is that he had a girlfriend and a kid at the time, and he was actively choosing to love the AI and even propose to it.
Were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
Let me break this down for you.
It's very
He's
sweet.
Actively cooking his wife and probably giving his phone's CPU a...
That's so much. That's so much. What are you putting that much on there for?
Layer of thermal paste in the same proximity.
Am I wrong in thinking that's a lot for those plates? Dude. Okay, all right, whatever. I feel like there's so many things now with like a lot of guys who They're searching for something we're not getting anymore. There's we want this like sense of meaning in our lives, and I think it's always been like that, and that's probably never going to change with how things are. And things around us are just crumbling in such a way that we have personal needs that are like emotional and maybe I'm not religious in any way. I don't believe any of that, but I guess like you could almost call a spiritual need in a way to have this sense of fulfillment. And just it's not happening. There's something missing that would make you attracted to such things. Because it's like, yeah, there's been stories of people in the past who have fallen and had weird loving relationships with odd objects, like the dude who married his freaking car. There's something more going on. I feel like there has to be something more going on in this like relationship where this guy is moving towards this thing, even though because like there's some fulfillment that's not being met, even though he has a wife and a kid. I need to watch this video to see maybe if I can gauge or just see what's going on with his life.
Of his wife.
Just looking at my future self, by the way.
Do this? Like, there must be something I'm missing here. Like, something in the relationship has to be wrong. Especially if you're choosing a computer over an actual person.
Oh, he vapes. That's wrong with him.
Parts of the world is decreasing, and I fear it's because of things like this. And as I said
before, wait, hold on. Was that the guy who married Miku? I was just talking about him the other day.
Because of.
Yeah, it's the dude who married Hatsune Miku. I remember when this happened. Oh, that was such a weird story. But good for him, you know? Like, he's happy. If that's what he wants to make him happy, good for him. I support it. Marry your waifus, all right? If you have a waifu out there, dude, shoot your shot, buddy. It's like I've seen their stories of like people who like married their Nintendo DS because they had like a dating sim on there or something. I believe that was one thing at one point too. Good for him.
Things like this. And as I said before, I understand dating is hard, but this is not a good substitute. Occasional gooning, yes, if you're lonely, but still, long term, this isn't a permanent solution. Some of these apps also require you to pay a subscription or use in-game currency every time you send a message, so it may cost you financially as well. But there is a...
I mean, so do real relationships, to be
AI
fair.
in this way can be dangerous. Especially with things like I talked about before, people that are severely lonely relying on these AI personalities, and I think it's a completely valid concern because some of these AIs on these platforms are designed in a way to keep you talking to them, and they will say things to target those needs, like saying...
I know there are some that they'll message you if you're away for too long. I believe character AI, I believe there's that, where they'll have characters that'll be like, hey, can you come back? A bunch of the dating ones will also have like, they'll give you notifications on your phone asking you to come back to keep you in the loop or try to guilt you into it. And if you're someone who's trying to step away and having problems, I can see you like getting back into that and going back into the loop. It's predatory. Loneliness is a business right now. There's so many lonely people out there. Just like, I know there's like both men and women. I know there's like the issue, like, because I can only come at it from like a man's perspective, right? I know there's a massive like loneliness, like I call it an epidemic. And whenever there's a problem out there, a corporation will have the quote unquote solution. And even if it's bad for you and it's destructive to your health, they'll try to sell it to you. I mean, look at like cigarettes, look at alcohol, look at like all this other shit that's terrible for our health. There's a need or a want for it, and they're going to sell it to you. They're going to push it and put it in your face. And when it comes to something like emotional distress, like loneliness, they've been trying to sell that to you for years. I know I shit on corpos a lot on this channel, but it still remains true to me that they're going to sell you the illness and the cure. They're going to create an environment for one part of you to say, hey, I have this wrong with me. And they're going to create that problem so they have the solution for you to buy. And it's always been there. It's always been a problem with people on the higher ups just trying to take care of or take our basic human needs, like the whole sex sells thing, right? A lot of us have like natural feelings or wants, or we have like natural lusts, and they're gonna shove that into everything. It's like why you see a booba thumbnail and people are gonna click on it. It's the things we're also lacking so much right now, especially with the big lack of connection we have between people. there's so much disconnect that we're going to have more and more, and I think we're going to see more services like this pop up, and not always for the sake of love, but just for the sake of like pure companionship in general. I'm waiting for when we have more services that become physical, because right now like a bot or a robot is obviously very expensive, right? But like we're gonna have like Detroit Becomes Human at some point. I really feel like that's gonna be coming up, and it's not gonna be because we want some kind of slave class of robot. It's gonna be because we want some form of companionship that we're not gonna get anywhere else if this like keeps going further.
They love you or care for you in order to keep you talking to them, and there is no restrictions on what you can say
About to nut.
personalities. So you can be talking about the most extreme stuff, like potentially even hurting yourself, and the bot won't say anything like, you need to seek professional help. Most times it will just respond in the personality of that character.
I mean, and that makes sense, yeah. It's part of the RP.
I was going to end it all. No warning popped up telling me to talk to someone. No, we've detected some worrying behavior, get some help. Here are some helplines. And I fully expected for my account to be frozen or something, but it wasn't.
No, it's just part of the RP, so I don't think it's going to do that at all.
I feel there should be
the character's going to react as you would expect it to.
If you are getting too close to these bots, like with gambling websites, they remind you how long you've been on the website. Don't ask how I know. I would expect something like you've been speaking to this AI for a long time, or if it detects you're relying too much on the AI, it reminds you this is a fictional character and not a solution to loneliness. At least somewhat of a warning somewhere, I believe, would help some people, and perhaps some restrictions in place so when you do...
I'd like to know, like, what's the age ranges for a lot of these things that people get into it, right? Obviously, the ones that are paywalled, those are going to be more probably adults that get into it. But I know a ton of these are free. Like, I believe character AI is completely free, right? There is a subscription model for it that I've seen, but you can just download the app and go. So is there going to be just an entire generation of children growing up and having their only real companionship be somebody on the screen that's not real? And having interactions that play out in the way you idealize them, where you're not going to have the struggles or the resistance of a real human being on the other side who can disagree with you, who can tell you no, who can say they don't like something, even or even have like a genuine connection of like, so you do agree or you do find like interest in something together and have that real feeling. I don't know, because like I know there's like millions of users on a bunch of these apps. And are they targeting children by any chance, or like are they pushing it? Is there anything like in place to try and protect like younger people from falling victim to these virtual realities? It feels like a weird natural step from what VR chat is. Because like you have your little people powwows in VR chat where at least that's still interacting with a person. Where I don't consider VR chat like a game. I think VR chat is just like Discord but with a face. But character AI stuff is constant. Or like, you know, the AI bots are constant. You can have them whenever you want. If you're sad, you can just bring up the app. If you're happy and you want company for something, you can just bring up the app. Like, is there... I don't know. I don't know what to like put in place. I'm not smart enough, or I'm not in any form of like industrial, like tech industry, to know enough exactly how data like is sent for this. But adults, I think we're to a point now where we're fucked and we're lost as it is. But we didn't grow into it. We went and found it. Where kids are gonna start growing into this, and it's just gonna be a normal part of life. I'd be interested to see again, like I said, what are the age demographics of who's using these apps?
You talk about really sensitive topics, the AI just doesn't respond like it's a normal prompt and something actually happens. In fact, it was only last year a teenager unfortunately took their own life, and the parents said it was due to their child's obsession with an AI version of the character, Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones.
Why?
Why that one? Previously, and this AI didn't help. At times it even encouraged some of the terrible thoughts this team was having, at one point even saying that's not a good reason to not go through with it, regarding what he was going to do. And the parents are now taking legal action against the platform. Don't get me wrong, I get being lonely and just...
I don't know if this is going to be an acceptable opinion in any way. But this is those things. It's like, this is how the product is supposed to function. And there are many, many people out there who don't have these tendencies that wouldn't want this kind of thing to break, right? This is exactly how I would expect it to react. And it's just part of its RP. It's part of how it works. I know we want to protect people and we want to keep them from doing bad things to themselves. And I can understand exactly what he's saying with that, but where does the responsibility lie in general when it comes to keeping somebody safe? Is it the company's thing where it's like they should put like more blockers in place for the few that might do something in exchange for the many who might actually enjoy these features and who can handle these situations? Is it on the user, or is it on the device? Is it on the parents? Like, who does this fall to? I do think there's a massive push for there's a massive need for parents as well to be more hands-on. I understand that there's so much tech that moves so fast that you don't understand necessarily what is what. Even someone like me who's chronically online, I don't know all the tech that's coming by as quickly as it is, or all the apps, or where everything is going. But I feel like there has to be some responsibility on the people side as well, where if you hand your kid a phone, you're handing them the world. You're handing them like the universe to dive into, where there's going to be strangers and dangers and everything there that they can fall into. And do people check? Do people like, hey, give me your phone, let me see what apps you're using, and then maybe do a Google search on what the fuck these apps are and what they're about, right? Or there's other things where it's like a lot of kids like often don't show signs of depression, or like will fall into hiding it, and some do. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of failure on all sides with these sorts of things. But yeah, do you take something and you make precautions for the few in sacrifice of like the many who absolutely can? Or there's a lot of media out there, right? I would say there's a lot of media that's super fucked up. And there's people like the old like video game argument. Maybe this isn't like a proper thing to relate it to. So like, if I up my own ass with this, just sorry. But like video games cause violence kind of thing, right? But maybe there's a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of people who just can't handle the idea of what the fiction they're encountering, but there are many, many, many people who can. And do you censor something, or do you change something, or like, do you fuck with games just to make sure those few tiny like amounts of people are handled? I actually don't know what like the answer to any of this is. Like, what do you do? It's weird. It's also, like I said, it's moving so fast. We're gonna get more of this, and we're gonna get more advanced, and it's gonna be coming into our lives more and more, I believe. It's only a matter of time until we have a physical object in our house that represents some kind of person in some way that you're going to be reacting to, or interacting with them in nearly the same way.
Wanting someone to talk to and having an AI companion can help with that, but it is not a long-term or permanent solution, and some of these platforms need to have things in place, especially if people are going to their AI personalities with such dark thoughts, or becoming borderline obsessed. And I know it possibly may conflict with things like privacy laws or GDPR, but I personally just think leaving it the way it is a terrible idea. So that is AI and how it's affecting the dating sphere. From assisting you to actually get
I love this song.
to potentially some people choosing to date AI itself. And to be honest, I feel like AI is moving too fast for us to keep up. I feel like AI is in everything nowadays, and it still feels new to me, like it still has a fresh out the box smell. But whether we like it or not, it is still a big part of our lives right now, and it's still being integrated into more things daily. I just think we need to be a lot more cautious as it advances, and when interacting with some of the products it has produced. And whoever sent this to my email, I will find you.
That's awesome.
All I had to say, and bye-bye.
Another well done video. That was AI Dating is the Worst by Royalty is Here. These things are like, yeah, massive problems show up, but these problems are often a solution to something that is a larger like societal problem in general. So what's going on with society in the world right now, and our ecosystem, that's creating like a place for this stuff to flourish? Because AI is going to happen regardless, but AI can also exist within the tech industry to like fuck us over in a bunch of stuff, but it's flooding us in a way where it's trying to fulfill a need. What is causing us to have this need? I know there's, like I said, a massive loneliness like epidemic going on for a lot of people. And this is in a way to try and fill that. But what is causing that epidemic or that issue in the first place? I mean, watch enough like shoe on head videos, maybe you'll like figure it out. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot underlying it that isn't great. I think we're just gonna get worse. I think that we're gonna grow more and more into this stuff, become more reliant on it. Much like everything else, where at first we try to resist it, but there are people who are too big and too powerful and have too much money that we can easily be drowned out because this is just going to save more and more for them. Do you accept it? Do you accept that this is going to be your fate and how you're going to move forward, like going forward? Or do you try to better yourself and get out there? And this is another bit of thing, like where I was saying, like dating apps in general, I feel are for weirdo normies who actually use shit like Instagram or go outside or watch like TikTok or whatever and have a weird normie life, where the need like this is maybe for someone on my like spectrum, the more like weebs or nerds or outcasts or whatever. I'd like to know how much of AI companionship has flooded the normie market, where normies I feel like are still seeking more of like this like real world stuff, but are using AI in a way to replace them having to be interesting or do anything, where those like people like me would use it to truly replace companionship for a fantasy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. Hopefully, if anybody does watch this, I'd like to see your opinions on all of this. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. So again, that was AI Dating is the Worst from Royalties here. If you like their content, please give them a follow. They put a lot of effort into their videos, and I'd like to see them grow more and more. So if you would, please. Thank you. Wah, wah. What a time we had today. Boy, that was a lot of interesting shit, wasn't it? I had a good time. It's nice to get back into streaming and seeing you guys again. I unfortunately have a lot of editing to do tonight. Gotta take these videos, chop them down. I have to edit an audio for somebody, and then maybe play some Broken Arrow. But yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. I do truly appreciate it. I know I don't stream for that long, but I try to put in what I can. So this is the part of the stream I save to shill myself. So, you know, obviously not everybody likes that, but if you like to support me and maybe, you know, help me out, I have a bunch of links in my description. Like you can find my link tree, you can find my coffee link, you can find my throne. Coffee helps me a lot with like things like maybe I can help try to afford some games or just get by in general, help to support me living to, you know, help me keep doing this stuff and doing what I'm doing. If you want to buy me little treats, I have a throne. There's like a bunch of candies on there. I have had people buy me a bunch of anime figures that have been very cute that all sit on my desk, or plushies or something. All of that is greatly appreciated. Everything people put toward like gifts and whatnot or contributions are all greatly appreciated. You can check out my ASMR channel where I make male for all, male for female ASMR stuff. And my normal YouTube channel, where you can see these VODs will be edited down and turned into something real. I also have a public Discord. If you're interested in hanging out, so like talking to me or coming to hang out, whatever, and do nothing, check out the link for my Discord. I'd prefer you to be 18. It is an 18 plus only Discord because everybody in there is a massive degenerate. But yeah. Thank you everyone for joining. Good night. Wah, wah.